Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the monthly tournament to see Duckling Open number 132. We are now here in the first of our games. And guess what? I am gonna start predictions. I hope everything is working. Let's double check that it's working. Yes, everything is working. Okay, so without further ado, we are now on the first of our maps. This, for those who may have missed the update, this is a very special edition of Duckling Open, as for the entire week, and a bit over a week, our tournaments are featuring a special map pool from Team Liquid map contest number 20. So here in the top left corner of Incorporeal, we have our red Zerg player representing the Angel Armada. It is Zergtanis. And across the map, it is his opponent. It is the blue Protoss player. It's Last Ketchup. Let me double check on the clan of Last Ketchup, because I am not sure if they are in one. Oh, they're in Team Void apparently. There you go. Let me update that. Okay, now we good. Okay, I'm still trying to make sure that everything is working. Yes. Okay, I think we are good. So anyway, welcome to Incorporeal. This is one of the new maps, as our tournaments are now featuring these Team Liquid map contest maps. For those who don't know, this is how we get new maps on ladder. Like all the maps you've seen on ladder for the past several years now. Like someone has to count it. It may be like a decade at this point, but like every single map that's been on ladder for a while, at least for 1v1. For team games it's a bit more complicated, but at least for 1v1 for sure. All of those maps are made by the community, and they are coming usually from this Team Liquid map contests. It's not always the winning maps that get added to ladder, like the maps in the end are chosen by whoever is in charge of the circuit of the ladder and so on, depending on, you know, on the timeline. But all the maps are coming from those community contests, from the community map makers. So this is now the time to figure out what may be coming to ladder. For those who don't know, there is a public vote like this. All the maps that you see in these tournaments are maps that are the finalists, that have been chosen by the judges to be the finalists. There are 16 finalists, and there is now like a week or so when the tournaments are happening, most notably of course the worthy TLMC tournament, but also the smaller tournaments as well, just like ours. And after the worthy TLMC is over, there will be a public voting. Ooh, this adept is in trouble. There will be a public voting, and the top 5, I think? The top 5 finishing maps will be awarded prize pool. So definitely worth it to take part, to check out these maps and see what you like. Anyway, we are in game. The first adept from Last Ketchup has died, but we have an Oracle on the way. The first one is already across the map, and the second one will be joining shortly. And Last Ketchup sees a lot of Zerglings from Zergtanis, and Zergtanis is committing to them pretty heavy. I mean, he's adding even the upgrades for the Zerglings as well. The Roach Warren is already out too. So we will have some Roaches coming as well. Yeah, he's getting both melee and range. I just realized. I was like, oh, is that Carapace? No, this is both melee and range upgrades. So we're really committing to both Roaches and Zerglings here. And we'll see how Last Ketchup can defend against it. I mean... Oh no. Oh no. Do you see what I see? This is not a wall. Last Ketchup is prepared for this one, but not for the other space. Fortunately, Zergtanis doesn't try to force it, but yeah, this may be very, very risky if the Zerglings decide to run by here. Yeah, welcome to Incorporeal. First of our maps. Of course, as always, we have losers pick for our tournaments, and the first map is on the bracket. And Incorporeal is a map by Monitor. What are some key features? A central Xel'Naga. So there you go. We have a central, and it has an control logo. Yeah. For those who may not know, it's random what logo the Xel'Naga has. Ooh, as the Oracle does actually fly too close to the spores, it does get a revelation on the base, but not really any damage. I don't think it got any damage really. 3 drones. 3 drones. I don't know if it was by this Oracle or maybe the earlier one. Okay, let's see what is actually happening in our game. Oh, as last ketchup is ready to move out, has Zealots. The charge is still on the way. It's not finished. We have some adepts in this army as well. At the same time, we have a small link run by at the third base of the Protoss. Some defensive warplanes at home should be able to deal with that. Meanwhile, the Protoss army is now across the map. Roaches and Zerglings are here to defend, and Adepts have to be careful not to get surrounded. They don't do very well against Roaches, but with the Zerglings they should be fine. That is a lot of Roaches though. I see. Stuff is happening in the chat. So hold on, there's one more thing I have to readjust here. So for those who don't know, I may be using regular hotkey setup. I don't use the core or anything, but for observing specifically, I'm using the right side of my keyboard, so it's a bit different. Now this Zealot is trying to run away, but it won't. At the same time, we have some Zealots at the third base of Zergtanis, and they were able to do some damage here. This hatchery may be going down. I mean, the army of Zergtanis is rotating, but I don't think he has quite noticed in time. You see, this is very close. Can they get this hatchery? And no, just barely 45 HP left on that hatchery. Meanwhile, last ketchup taking his fourth base. Is there a toy Nexus laying on the ground? Oh, those are regular Nexus, what? Or do you mean, is there one on the map somewhere? Look, I also don't know these maps very well yet. I wanna look. Okay, we have another Zergling run by going to the fourth base this time, but there is the army of the Protoss prepared and ready. Zergtanis is going for Lurkers next. Lurkers and Banelings. So, you know, this will be a very diverse army. Meanwhile, from the side of Last Ketchup, we have Immortals coming up. And Robo is now put down as well. I do wonder what he's gonna go for, because I don't know how well Colossus deals versus Roaches, so I guess maybe Disruptors, we will see. Except the fact is that this is no longer, you know, just a Roach army, my bad. Once again, Last Ketchup is moving across the map. Ooh, the army was not here and the hatchery was low from earlier, so it gets quickly sniped. Now Zergtanis moves to defend. And it looks like there's enough of a Zerg force here to deter the Protoss, but I mean, the hatchery was already lost. That said, Last Ketchup has to be careful because he can't lose too much of this army. High Templars are here. Do we have Storm? Storm is still on the way. Okay. So no Storm yet, but it will be there soon. So High Templars are already charging energy. Zektan is double expanding. He has to retake this hatchery at the third and taking a fourth at the same time. Looks like our armies may meet in the middle as Zergtanis actually goes forward. Ooh, storms on the army of the Zerg. Pretty nice, mostly on the Hydras, but the Ravagers as well. And there are still a lot of Immortals in this Protoss army and they just go straight through the Zerg. The Zerg army melts in front of the Protoss force. Last Ketchup will be moving forward at the same time. He is also expanding to his 5th base. And now Zergtanis is in danger. Some Zerging reinforcement try to stop this force, but it's not enough. Last Ketchup will be taking game number 1. Now hold on. Casting 2, what are you doing? There you go. Better. But yeah, GG. Nicely done. By Last Ketchup. Very solid gameplay. Yes, actually let me get this to party. Oh, the triangle thing in the wall. Oh, you mean the small thing? Yeah, I know what you refer to. Yeah, there is like this small like widget. I don't know what to call it. Okay, we just got our next map. Let me make sure that everything is correct. Okay, so our next map. Ooh, this is an interesting one. I know this is a fan favorite of some. Let's go. Okay. So, yeah, Last Ketchup, it looks like Last Ketchup is not familiar with this map, so this will be a fun one, because the map that we are loading into is Last Fantasy. So for those who don't know, Last Fantasy is the only map in the TLMC map pool, so to say, that is a free player map. Is that Yeah, I guess it's free player, right? Is that what it's called technically? Because I mean, you still play 2 players, but like there are 3 spawns on the map, and it's random, of course, where you can spawn. So there are 3 options. Oh, wrong guys. Okay. Okay. We will go again. Why did I not notice that? Now I have to find the map. Like, the list is so long because I have so many maps now in my bookmarks. So it takes a moment to set up. Okay, let's try again. Let's try again. So again, we are loading into Last Fantasy. It is a free spawn map. So there are 3 options for the main base, for the players. Okay, let's go again. Oh no, did they? No, they didn't switch colors. Okay, I was like, did they switch colors? No, I think it's correct. Okay. So welcome to Last Fantasy. Not Final Fantasy, but Last Fantasy. Where in the top side spawn, at the top of the map, we have the first of our players. It is the Zerg player from Australia representing the Angel Armada. It is Zergtanis. And in the bottom left corner of the map, we have his opponent. It is the blue Protoss player from Poland, representing Team Void. It's Last Ketchup. And we will see how this goes. I want to see where is Last Ketchup going with this probe. Okay, he's going to the location. Unfortunately for him, it is not the correct location, as Zergtanis, as we know, has spawned at the top side. But Last Ketchup is aware. He is keeping up with the map. He knows where the spawns are, so he will be scouting Zergtanis eventually. For now, just expanding Nexus before Cybernetics core. Zergtanis did a bit of a extractor trick, but he's going for a hatchery anyway, so I guess just you know, some earlier hatchery, maybe some 15 hatch opening. And yeah, it is, as we said, it is a free spawn map. This is the other spawn, so this is also where either of the players could be. Ooh, Zergtanis really doesn't want that probe in his base. A lot of workers are being pulled. But the probe survives. So in the middle of the map we have a bunch of speed zones, so it's also a thing. Those are speed zones, right? I'm not wrong. Oh, hello! That is cute. There's a monster logo right in the middle of the map. Yeah, for those who don't know, the TLMC this season is sponsored by Monster, so you know, shout out to them. Yeah, let me quickly open the description of Last Fantasy. Maybe we can get something interesting there. Acceleration zones to promote fast maneuvering. Yeah, so this is this. Those are the speed zones, or acceleration zones as they are also called. So there is a lot of speed zones in the middle. Air blockers surround the map. So these are the air blockers. So there is no way to hide any liberators or overlords on the edges of the map, as all of it is blocked, as this overlord is showing right now. So thank you, overlord, for being the example. Meanwhile, we have the first adept shading in, but there's a lot of Zerglings from Zergtanis, so Last Ketchup decides against it. Does not finish that shade. Or did he finish that shade the other day? Okay. It's like, am I crazy? Where's that at? Looks like Zergtanis also doesn't know where Last Ketchup is still, so he will only now be scouting with these Zerglings, and unfortunately for him, just like Last Ketchup, he scouts the wrong location. At least now he is aware. At the same time we have Oracle flying in. Oh, nice. 2 drones. Can we get more? There's no Spore in the main base. There are Queens though. Yeah, 4 drones. Not bad, not bad. And the Oracles will be moving away. At the same time we have Zerglings trying to force this wall at the base of Last Ketchup, but this time this is a very solid wall. There are no open spots other than that one single adept spot. This is nice. I don't know what to say. This looks nice. Like, unironically, this looks like this banner kind of fits. I don't know why. More so than the others. Like these are new maps. Like generally, I am looking at them for the first time in game, because I have seen them like on images. This is the first time I'm seeing these maps in game as well. So I sorry if I'm a little bit distracted, but I'm appreciating the visuals at the moment. Another Zergling. What am I even saying? What are words? As the probes are dying to the Zerglings at the third base of Last Ketchup. The Nexus is in danger, but there are forces here to defend. It looks like Zergtanis won't be able to get much done with the Zerglings, unfortunately. At the same time as this is happening, we have this... I mean, I would call it Gateway Explosion, but it's Gateway with tech, as we also have charge on the way, we have upgrades as well. So Last Ketchup just preparing for the next phase, preparing for the next gateway attack. Oh, even getting cannons in the third base. I mean, considering how many Lingran buys there are, it may be useful. The Oracle once again flying into the base of the Zerg, this time only throwing some revelations and unfortunately dies to the Spore. Oh, also I should mention that Last Fantasy is a map by Team A. So there you go. Yeah, I want to kind of keep note of like who is the author of the maps as well. So to give credit where credit is due. And you know, maybe if you like the maps of that specific map maker, you can follow them. And you know, because apart from these maps that you see in this Team Liquid map contest, like the map makers often also make like, you know, some other maps, often just for fun, with like some crazy designs and stuff, and you can follow them and see what they're up to. As these zealots are completely destroying the Zergling defenses, and the hatchery of the third hatchery of Zergtanis is in danger. It will be going down, and so many the drones, but it looks like they will just barely escape. Yeah, Zergtanis was trying to defend with the Zerglings, but they were not enough against the zealots, and yeah, the hatchery is going down once again. Let me in. And now Last Ketchup is ready. The Protoss army is moving across the map. This time we have Archons in the mix. So not just regular gateway units. But we do not have Immortals in this army. Ooh, but there are so many charges here, and they are going against Zerglings. There are no other forces quite yet, and GG is called. Last Ketchup will be taking the series 2-0. GG, nicely done by Last Ketchup. And yeah, with that, the first series of our tournament is over. Let us take a quick look at the bracket then. Oh, please display correctly. I did not check if it's showing. Yes! Okay, we have the bracket. So as you can see, Last Ketchup just took down Zerktanis 2-0 and is now going to play against Tassadar. Where's Tassadar? Let's invite to party. So we're just gonna follow along with that. Meanwhile, we have Horseradish versus Matinator. That's quite a name. And the winner of that will be going against Captain Fish. At the same time, we have Yakuzaku versus Sugarcold the second. If you remember, Captain Fish was the winner of last SDO and Sugarcold was the runner-up. So we have both of our finalists once again in the bracket. Meanwhile, Fist Serpent took down Werehog, also known as a random user, or RDN user. And yeah, Fist Serpent took down Werehog 2-0 and is now waiting for the winner of Yakuzaku and Sugarcold. Meanwhile, at the very top of the bracket we have Rudder versus Gooders, and the winner of that will be going up against Pants, or Battle Pants, I should say. Something interesting that I noticed is that we have a lot of Australians in the bracket this time. Like actually, we have quite a few Australians. I want to look at the Wikipedia page how it looks like. So that's 5. So we have like 5 Australians, and then like there are like few more people who aren't Australians but live in Australia. So there's actually a big Australian representation today, which is very interesting. It's nice to see because I mean, in this tournament was originally scheduled for like the Oceania and Asia time zone, so it's really nice to see players from that region showing up in big numbers. So yeah, shout out to Australia. I guess that ketchup will not be the last. Thank you still. Okay, we have our players and let's see what's our next map. And the map from round 2 is Antimatter. Imagine if the list was alphabetical. How nice would that be? Blizzard. Oh yeah, I should probably hold on, because the players may be ready, but I'm not. We have Tassadar versus Last Ketchup from Team Void. And Tassadar is from... I'm not sure what team. I will win the TVP this season, soon TM. I believe in you, Werehog. You can do it. Then we are loading to the next map, to the first map of our second series. The first map of quarterfinals. And it is Antimatter. Okay. Before I forget, predictions are running. course, this stream is on 2-minute delay, so by the time you hear this message, the predictions might be already closing or already closed, so keep that in mind. But without further ado, we are in the bottom right corner of Antimatter, where we have our blue Zerg player from Australia. It is Tassadar. And in the top left corner, we have the red Protoss player from Poland representing Team Void. It's Last Ketchup. Oh, it shows on the minimap really weirdly. It shows green. Do you see that? Like, there's no green here, but it shows green on the minimap. There it may be something about like the texture that was used. Ooh, as Last Ketchup decides to proxy right next to the base of Tassadar. Of course, this is a very interesting map as we have this sort of pocket base over here. It's protected by the minerals. And this is the frontal base. And yeah, we're going for a cannon rush. Also, my favorite feature of this map that unfortunately, as I see, is not shown on the minimap is the middle. In the middle we have this huge thingy. As Yaku called it, the Shazam logo. Yeah, I will have to learn the minimap. The minimap is so different to what the map actually looks like. It's interesting. But the first cannon has finished. Tassadar has not noticed, and now this hatchery is in danger, but it looks like this is not a committed cannon rush, as after the single cannon, Last Ketchup actually takes his worker home. He's working on Zealot back at home, working on finishing that wall, so yeah, this is just like a harassment cannon rush more than anything. Oh, but the probe is now back, scouting around the main base, you know. It's just putting the uncertainty. I got there in the end. He's making Zerg scared, okay? I have been cannon rushed before. It gets you paranoid. But yeah, this base will not be taken for quite a while. Meanwhile, Tassadar expanded all the way over here, not even to the third base location, but even farther than that. At the same time, we have some Zerglings trying to get into the wall of Last Ketchup, but there is Zealot there to help out, and the probe has sealed the rest of the wall. So it looks like the Protoss base is safe. Oh, but we have more Zerglings streaming in from Tassadar. I guess he is not happy about that cannon rush, so the aggression is coming up. And Roach Warren is on the way as well. It will not be easy for Tassadar because his base is so far away, so it won't be easy to use it for defense, I guess. But for offense, it doesn't matter that much. I would have to like check like what the actual like distance is from these bases, but it looks like they're fairly similar distance from the Protoss. So it may be a fair reinforcement point. But yeah, this map is really pretty, like visually. Like it's pretty in the sense that it's like just unusual. It's kind of weird, but it's nice, kind of weird. We're like, those are like very original visuals, but for some reason it's not reflected on the minimap, which is kind of triggering me. Not gonna lie, the minimap is actually bothering me all the time. The Zerglings are still trying to get into the natural of Last Ketchup, but it does not look like it will be possible. So I don't know if you see, but like here on the minimap, in this spot, there's like a little red line, and here as well, like on the bottom of the ramps, like the thing is. Ooh, as that adept gets trapped. No, the Tassadar didn't notice, but he notices now, and the adept will be dealt with. But yeah, there's some red spots on the map as well, so that makes it a bit problematic when you have a red player. But I feel like those are the things that you can fix in like QA, in like iteration phase and so on. Because there will be also an iteration phase where the map makers can make some changes based on the feedback. So keep that in mind, that this may not be the final version of the map. There may be some changes still. So again, this is the good time to test these maps to see what works, what doesn't. And then we can refine this. Or I guess the map makers can refine them. So we can get some interesting map pulls on the ladder. Neither, she did not get there. Get that with stick. Stick with some backseat casting? Huh? Huh? But yeah, it looks like Last SketchUp now going for a bit more than of the usual, working on charge, working on his gateway army, adding more gates to the mix. Meanwhile, Tassadar going for Hydralisks. I assume he's gonna switch to Lurkers later, but we'll see about that. For now there are Zealots in the base, there are chargeless Zealots. So just some slow Zealots all around the main base. The Queens are attacked on the back as the Zerglings with some roaches are trying to fight on the front. It looks like the Queens are going down, first of them already down. The two others are stuck and there's no transfuse, they are completely out of energy. The last Queen is just running away as the Zealots have dealt with the army as well. And this Queen will be focused too. The drones are forced to, off the line and now the charge finishes. The drones are defenseless against the Zealots. They're trying their best to keep the base alive. I mean, the Zealots are pretty low. Not like this. GG. As Last SketchUp will be taking game number 1. Not like this indeed. The Zealots were too much. And the Zealots took the base from Tassadar and took the game in the end. Let me just... Make sure we are on the same spot on the other map pool. Because I mean, this is a very new map pool, very fresh map, so the players may not be aware of what we have. And this is a loser's pick, so we have to pick the next map for the Pingu. Okay, we have our next map. We'll just find it on the list. Okay. Still anything in San Francisco, but honestly I have no idea if the game even works on my PC. I mean, why not, honestly? Why not? Why not? Just try. Okay, so our players are getting ready. Okay. That happens. It's having some lobby issues. Good enough for me. Just checking the colors. Okay. Looks like everybody's ready. We are ready. Let's go into game number 2. Good catch! Why is he shown as Terran? That is actually confusing. There's no reason for him to be. Thanks, Iceland. No, Iceland, Steelmore. Iceland, Steelmore, you're the same person, right? Kappa. Anyway, we are now on Persephone. Persephone? Oh no. Okay, English speakers, how do you read this? Because if nobody tells me, I'm just gonna read it in Polish, which is Persefona. You're welcome. Anyway, in the top left corner of the map, we have the pink Zerg player from Australia. It is Tassadar. And on the bottom side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player from Poland. Representing Team Void, it's Last Ketchup. And Last Ketchup is once again being cheeky as he goes right across the map and sets up a proxy at the third base location, the linear third of the Zerg player. Meanwhile, it looks like Tassadar went for pool, rather for gas pool hatch. So not the most typical of builds. But I guess after the cannon rush previous game, he is a bit more careful. I mean, he even had an overlord on the natural, as you typically do in this situation. But this time, this is not a cannon rush. This is a 4-gate. Ah, have you guys missed the 4-gate? It's been a while. The overlord is slowly making its way across the map, but it will not be there in time to know what is going on, as the zealots are already in production. Well, I really like this. I don't know why, but this looks nice. Yeah, this looks nice. I should do like a stream of me just like looking at the maps and just like looking at the features of the maps in game. Not to like analyze it like gameplay wise, but just like oh, this looks nice. The first two zealots are already in the main, in the natural. There are some Zerglings here to defend, so I mean, Tassadar was expecting something cheeky, but I don't know if he was expecting zealots. The queens are not in production yet, surprisingly. Ah, the first one is out, I guess. But will it be enough against all these zealots? I mean, the Zerglings are already down. There's no second queen in production, as I don't think they are quite resourced. They are now. Drones are being pulled off the line and they will have to try and fight this threat. The queen is being hidden in the mineral line, so it doesn't get targeted, it doesn't get surrounded. But it's only one queen against all these zealots and the drones. Queen goes down, the drones are quite defenseless. There are some Zerglings here to help out, but those are still slowlings, they are still waiting for speed. And just like that, all the drones are gone. GG is called. Shout out to Lars. GG. Last Ketchup will be taking this series 2-0. GG. So Last Ketchup takes this series 2-0 and with that goes straight into semifinals. So yeah, we have the first semifinalist. And it looks like for the time being we do not have any series currently ready, so let's see if there's something else we can cover. Party. Where am I? Where am I? Okay, can I cast you? Ah. Okay. Looks like we have a bunch of series starting at the same time. Okay. So let me see. Okay, I still have to wait for this. This is the moment where like my brain works at like the speed of light. Ha! Not really. But like I'm trying to connect so many things together. We have this, we have this, like this, and this is this. And we have Rudder versus Battle Pants. And we are starting the game. Wanna go Archon mode and destroy Kuro with Super Pants. Pants overwhelming and Pan-Galactic Empire. Punishment has arrived. Oh no. Oh no, not the two of them together. The Archon would be too powerful. Now it's two of them. Anyway, we are now on Antimatter. As we are starting new predictions. And we are now in the top left corner of said map where we have the red Protoss player. Hold on, I need to double check this. Yes, okay. The player from Norway, but I believe also living in Australia. Representing Jedi Knights, it's Rudder. And his opponent, it is the Blue Terran from Hungary, I believe. It is Battle Pants. they may also be living in Australia. I'm not sure on that one, but maybe, yeah. So again, we have a lot of Australian resident representation. So once again, we are on Antimatter, the very sparkly map. I'm starting to think. What do you think, guys, about instead of going the traditional red and blue, about going like teal and orange, for example? Because like on these darker maps, like blue and red is not very visible. Just something to think about. Rather is scouting battle plans quite carefully, checking if maybe the pocket base has been taken. Meanwhile, the Protoss player does take the pocket of his own. Battle plans decides to expand the frontal location. Arc. Oh no. We have the repair of battle plans moving across the map. Checks this frontal base, sees there is no nexus there. And will be met with a stalker. And he should be able to scout regardless. Yeah, goes straight into that pocket base, checks the main base as well, so gets all the information he can. The Reaper is very low on health already, so he has to dance with the stalker quite carefully. And looks like it will be dealt with. Second stalker coming out as well, just in case he needs some help. Punchline, pancake, punch. Oh no. What have I done? Anyway, we have more racks on the way from battle plans, as well as the third CC. I guess I assume it will be going to the pocket, but not necessarily. It may be going for a frontal base as well. He might be keeping that pocket for later. Hallucination Phoenix coming up, checking the base of battle plans, seeing what the current plans are. And I mean, the plans are bio, I guess bio tank, you know, the typical composition of our Terran players. Meanwhile, on the Protoss side, we have a Robo, we have a Robotics Bay as well, so probably some Colossus coming up. Of course, let's take this time to read a bit on the map. Where is it? Antimatter. By the Music 246. Also a very, I would say a very well-known map maker. I mean, maybe well-known is not the right word, but like definitely I have seen many maps from the music before, so definitely a very active map maker. Start with a choice of a forward natural pocket with mineral wall that can be opened up. Gold bases sit on the sides of the map, rocked off with an inhibitor zone, making them high risk, high reward opportunities. Hold on, gold bases. These gold bases, yes. So we have gold bases on the side with these inhibitor zones, which means they are slow zones. So even once these rocks are destroyed, like there's still a slow zone here, so it's a bit of protection on these gold bases, but also, you know, it makes that your units are also going slower through those zones. So it may be also like a problem with like reinforcements and stuff. That's definitely an interesting feature of this map. And yeah, we have Colossus on the way. And our Terran is amassing bio units with tanks. We have more racks coming up. Currently at 5 racks already. He did opt for that pocket base as his third. Did have proper punctuation. Yeah, this observer sees all the movements from the army of the Terran as Battle Pants is now moving out with this bio tank. Rather should be prepared. He has 2 Colossus, but not that much there to buffer. He's warping his Zealots now. Trying to set up a position on top of the ramp. Actually goes forward against the Terran, but that means that, yeah, exactly. Battle Pants can just load up the units and go straight to the bases, but he leaves the tanks behind and both tanks will be taken down. At the same time though, the bio lands in the pocket base. Quickly focuses a lot of probes, focuses the cannon as well, so it was not able to stop the attack. But the Colossus are now here. The Rico was able to protect this base, but not without losing 6 probes before that. As this was happening though, Radar did sneak out to take a 4. So he will have another Nexus set up. Meanwhile, we have another drop from Battle Pants, but once again it is being seen by this observer right in the middle. So Radar should be prepared as long as he saw that on the minimap. He has his units right in the middle, and he's actually moving them to the front of the base, so he may not have spotted this medivac coming in. Once again, Marines are being dropped, and probes will be dying, but they are evacuated. So in the end, only 3 probes down. But this base is in danger, and the entire army has to be rotated here. And the medivac escapes as well, so it is a potential danger for later. It will be just parking here for now. And at any point of the game, it can just jump right back in. Now Battle Pants has rebuilt the tank out once again, has built a nice army. Is pulling some workers as well, not all of them, just some from the main base. No, actually not even pulling. Okay, just transferring, sorry. Meanwhile, once again the Marines land, and this time 9 probes are dead. Or I guess. Aren't probes robots? Can probes die if they're robots? Well, it looks like that Medivac will be joining the main army, so that is the end of harassment from Battle Pants. For the time being. As our Blue Terran is also taking a 4th base on location. Oh, actually never mind, they had the CC already, but they are making another one. Right there too. Quick scan on the base of the Protoss, sees the warpings coming in. Should open an only pants page. Oh no. Oh no. Now we have the Terran army coming here from the right side of the map. This is not quite what Radar expected, as his entire army is on the other side. Has to quickly rotate. But the tanks are already being set up. There are a lot of Vikings in this army as well, so the Colossus won't be that safe. Some nice EMPs on an entire army of the Protoss, but still Radar is moving forward. The Colossus are helping with the bio, but there's no support for them, and now the Vikings can deal with the Colossus line as well. Yeah, and the entire army of the Protoss is crumbling down. There are few more units warped in, but there's still so much from Terran left over. These Vikings could just land and help deal with the Stalkers if they wanted to. I mean, the Colossus are already gone. It looks like this base will be going down as well. We have one Colossus and some Archons warping in. I guess Archons are morphing. But yeah, this is it. There's the Colossus, there are 3 Archons and a bunch of Zealots against this Terran army. The Ghosts are going down, which is definitely nice for Radar, and it looks like he will be able to push this army back, taking some tanks with it as well. But those were some serious losses. The Nexus went down as well. So this 4th base will have to be rebuilt. I feel like the more painful part actually maybe the loss of the army as well. Like, Battle Pants was able to save quite a good chunk of his army, while Radar lost a lot of the expensive units, a lot of the Colossus. Interesting. Yeah, Radar tries to counterattack, goes with his entire army across the map. It's mostly Zealots and those three Archons. Colossus is there on the back as well, but with this many Vikings, I don't think the Colossus can really do much for this army. Yeah, the Vikings will just go ahead and snipe it right there and then. I mean, the only anti-air are really these Archons, so it's not enough. And with that, this is just purely Gateway army. There is a warp here for reinforcements, and it looks like it will be used for harassment as well. But there are no robo units to help this army. At the same time, Battle Pants is sending a double medivac drop on the other side of the map. But he has to deal with these Zealots in his base at the same time. Ooh, a lot of the civs are actually stuck here and they will be going down. But the army is here to respond. The problem is the entire army moved here at the same time. Radar will be moving on the front. While Battle Pants is busy in his main base with those few Zealots, the main army is now at his 4th. There is a planetary fortress here though, so it won't be that easy to take it down, and it bought enough time for Battle Pants to return to this base, and with that, Battle Pants will be taking game number 1. So GG, nicely done. Is Colossi camouflaged in the shadow? I mean, they are. Incorporeal, sure, we can do that. If I can find it. And welcome to Incorporeal for our game number 2. Where in the top left corner we have our blue Terran player from Hungary. It is Battlepants. And across the map we have the red Protoss player representing Jedi Knights. It is Rudder. From Norway. From Norway, but I believe in Australia. And yeah, we'll see how the players do on this map. And once again we have this tower in the middle, right across both of our logos. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. Rather decides for a bit of a different sim city, decides to stuck closer to his main building instead of trying to wall off the ramps. Have a bit of a Reaper Cliff here. I believe the other... This may be also a Reaper Cliff, maybe? I'm not sure. No, I don't think it is. No. Those are just trees. So yeah, so we only have one Reaper Cliff here. So not that many entrances to the base. But yeah, rather opts for this closer SimCity. At the same time he goes for the proxy. Yeah, I remember as Light and Yaku were going over these maps, like this is like the proxy here kind of location, and rather we'll be testing that theory. We'll see how the proxy does in this spot. As Battlepants is not aware of that happening, just goes for a regular Reaper expand. He does not check it. I was like, is he gonna see the probe? But no, the probe just barely slips by. And it's a double robo proxy. I would say it's a very interesting location for one, but sure, why not? Now Battlepants comes across the map, he sees there is no nexus, he sees all the buildings tucked into the main base. And I'm sure he knows that something must be going on, because that's not typical for the Protoss. Like usually you would have already some more buildings of either in the main or a nexus. I mean, typically a nexus. Nowadays it's quite common to expand quite regularly. Yeah, Battlepants tries that. The Zelnaga tower tries to see to get some vision of what's going on. Sees the adept, I guess, coming across the map and decides to chase it, but he doesn't know that the real danger is still on the way. And it's a warp is immortal. Oh, it's an immortal drop. Okay, interesting. We'll see how that goes. So we have more racks on the way. A starport as well. And we have the Immortal out. The Marine will come to help, but I mean this is just one Marine. The Immortal is on full shields and has Warp Wreath for support. Rather is macroing those units. I mean the Warp Wreath is not in huge danger as there's only one Marine. Oh sorry, there are 3 Marines now. They did just pop out. Oh, this is risky. Just leaving this Immortal on the edge as the Warp Wreath is waiting for another one. Yeah, with 3 Immortals, this is quite a formidable force, and I don't think even Marines can stand against that. Just to be careful not to get too surrounded though, because the Immortals are quite vulnerable to that. But yeah, there's so much damage going on. The 10 SCVs already going down and more coming. I mean, the Marines will eventually be able to overpower these Immortals, but I mean, they did so much damage already. With the Viking joining in as well, this Warp Wreath is now in danger, but there are still more Immortals being produced. And a Stalker warped in for support as well. But with 3 racks already present, Battlepants is pumping out these Marines. Warpiece is so close! And the Warpiece goes down, one of the Immortals does get unloaded, but it's not enough, and Battle Plans will be taking this series 2-0. So, GG, very interesting way to finish this series, as rather opted in for some cheeky strategies. And with that, we have our first semifinals. There you go. Give me just a moment to set this up. As we have Battle Plans versus Sugarcoat. Trying to remember what the name was of Sugarcoat's clan. Hold on. Hold on. I can remember. I have memory. Okay. Oh, and we will have a new map. A map we haven't seen yet today. I like how I've been talking while I was muted, but what I was saying, I don't think it was an early GG because Radar did lose a lot of Immortals, and like, you know, over time he like even though he did a lot of damage as well, like the Terran already had a decent army going and it was only getting better, while he barely had anything at home because he was so focused on offense, and he lost both the War Prism and pretty much the entire army. So you probably could to try and bring it back, but it would not be easy. It would definitely not be easy. And battle plans would probably snowball anyway. Eventually. But anyway, we are now on our... For the first time in this tournament, we are on Sandworm. Our new map. Where in the top right corner of the map we have the teal Zerg player. I still don't like calling it teal, it's light blue. We have the teal Zerg player from Clan Devil's Void. It is Sugarcoat. And in the bottom left corner we have the red Terran player from Hungary. It is Battlepants. And now I get to look at the map. Oh, that's what they meant. Okay, because in the description of the map it says there are dragon's teeth or something like that, right? Hold on, let me pull up the description. Where is it? Sandworm, Sandworm, Sandworm. Yeah, the sets of dragon's teeth across the center of this desert are Terran fortifications that are used to impede tanks and larger units, while allowing small infantry to pass freely. Yeah, so it's kind of like Neon Violet Square, if you remember the pachinko, but it's dragon teeth. Very interesting. For now, we have the regular Reaper expand from our Terran player. Yeah, Sugarcoat is also going for just the usual, you know. I don't know if it was a hatch first or a pull first, but it doesn't look like it's overly aggressive. 4 Zerglings just to defend from the Reaper. Of course, they are still slow Zerglings, so they have to be careful about their movement. It's a bit of a gold here as well, protected by this debris. Meanwhile, we have a few Zerglings harassing the base here, but they're not able to get to the SCV, so the command center finishes without delay. And yeah, we'll see where our players want to take this. We have a Roach Warren coming up. Oh, good question. The Roaches still should pass through this, right? I think that's big enough for Roaches. Should probably pass through this fine. It will still separate them, which can be less or more beneficial. I guess ZVZ could be really interesting in this situation, because if like your units spread out, like if your Roaches separate here, like it's easier to surround them with Zerglings, right? Because the whole thing about like the way to prevent Zerglings from surrounding you as like a Roach player is to like, you know, clamp all your Roaches together, so basically the Roaches are protecting each other. But like if they're separated by the teeth, it's easier to surround them. I guess the same goes for other units as well, but I mean, surrounding Marines is not exactly a thing. Yeah, let's look at those Roaches coming through. No, they actually can't! Oh, that is so interesting. I thought this would be big enough for Roaches, but no. It's only the smaller units then. So only like Zerglings, Marines, like the likes. So I guess Hellions wouldn't be able to go through this either. Meanwhile, we have the Roaches coming up the ramp. Battlepant's trying to set up defenses, even calling that depot to reinforce it. This is the one time this is actually useful, but it's only to buy some time as it does eventually fall. The bunkers were not ready. SCVs are pulled off the line. There are not many Marines here. Oh, interesting SCV drill there to try and push the Roaches around, but so many of the SCVs are dying. At the same time, we have the Hellions across the map dealing damage to the workers of Sugarcoat as well, but with the Zerglings destroying the natural base, I think, yeah, he has done it. GG's called. Sugarcoat will be taking game number 1. I didn't start predictions, did I? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I can do this. I can do this. Yeah. Look, I even have the post-it note. I promised last stream, I promised last SDO that I will get a post-it note. And I did get a post-it note. It is, I posted it, I did post a photo on the Discord. As proof that it is a post-it note. And it is a push-in post-it note because that's what I had. Hold on, we are on... Oh, okay. We are getting ready for map number 2, and we have a question in the chat. How can you join this tournament? Or how can you join tournaments? So, this tournament specifically, Duckling Open, is a monthly tournament for diamond players, more or less, up to 4.2 MMR. Of course, 4.2k MMR. Of course, you can play also if you're like bronze or silver or so on, although I don't know if... I've been told that bronze does not really exist anymore, but I don't know if I believe that. Either way, you can play if you're any rank below 4.2k MMR, and of course you have the required games and so on. But this is a monthly tournament, so it happens once a month. It doesn't happen like regularly every 4 weeks, but it happens at least once a month. And the way you sign up for it is via the challenge. So when the brackets are announced, usually we try to post the bracket around a week before, sometimes, you know, a few days, like maybe 5 days before. What we typically try to stick to more or less a week before the tournament happens, the brackets go up, and that's when you can sign up for the tournament. This is not our only tournament though. We also have Masters 1 Open, which is also an amateur tournament, but it is up to 4.7k MMR, so there are some low Masters players there as well. So if you are interested in that part, you can also sign up for Masters 1 Open, which is also a monthly, and we generally try to keep them alternating. So basically every 2 weeks there is an amateur tournament on CranKy Ducklings. We also have a completely open weekly on Sundays. That is Sparkling Tuna Cup, and that one is open to everyone, including GMs, including pros. So if you are courageous enough that you want to try your skills against both amateurs and pros, then feel free to sign up for Sparkling Tuna Cup. I mean, it can definitely be an interesting experience. I have, as I said many times, I have played in Olimo Leagues back when I was silver, back when I was platinum, so it's definitely an experience, you know. You have high chance that you may play against somebody that you know, that you watch in like professional tournaments as well, so that's also a fun bonus. But yeah, that's how you sign up. All the signups are on challenge. You can check our Discord for up-to-date information where we post all our stuff. We also post our signups and other information on our socials. So we are on Twitter/X, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Mastodon, we are on Blue Sky. So if you are using any of these services, you can also find the information there when the brackets are up. But yeah, I would say that if you are using Discord, then it's the best to join our Discord, because, you know, that's how we can keep everything up to date. Like every small update can be posted there, because we generally like just, you know, post announcement on the socials, while Discord gets a lot more discussion as well. So yeah, feel free to check this out. We also have a sign-up list for general tournaments. Those are not just our tournaments, but any tournaments in the StarCraft scene. Like, that is not exactly a CranKy Ducklings project, that's more of a my project, I guess. There is a sign-up list that I try to keep up to date with various tournaments that are going on. So you can also check that out as well. As this Reaper is very close to dying to those Zerglings, but is able to escape. And we are on kill switch, as I might have not said. I don't even remember if I introduced the players, I'll be honest. This is a very interesting part of kill switch. I take it this is mineable, right? Yeah, this is mineable, and this is like just another entrance to the main base. Okay. Very interesting. Our players, once again, they're not going for anything cheeky. Just, I mean, I say once again, but Sugarcoat was pretty aggressive in game number 1. But this time it looks like Sugarcoat goes for the 3 bases. Goes for a much more calm approach to the game. Battle Plans also not too aggressive, but this time going for a Liberator, so we will see some harassment. I just imagine Serral showing up. Serral does not play in online tournaments, that's the thing. Like, just straight up, it's very... Like, there are some players that just straight up don't play in online cups. Like, it's very hard to spot them. So Serral straight up will not play in online cups. It's very unlikely. However, it's not that everyone will resign, to be fair. Because like if they, oh yeah, there's no chance to win. Because I mean, there is always, like, it's not just the first place that gets prizes first off, but also some people just want to play against Serral, you know? Like, imagine the glory you get if you can beat Serral, which has happened to many people. Like, many people have beaten Serral even though people didn't believe they could. So we have this Liberator on the third base. Queens are moving to position, but the larva will be going down. Oh, this Liberator is a little bit stuck as there are slow zones between these bases as well. And there's no dead zone, no dead space here. Yeah, that's a interesting detail here, that there's not really a safe spot here from Liberator to hide anywhere. There's of course more here at the natural base, but at the main and around the main and third, there's not really a good spot for a Liberator to hide. Also, another thing I wanted to say, we just casted, or I say we, Light has just casted like a day or two ago. There was the FSL event, the Family Star League event, where it was 1v2s against Serral, or 2v1s, where you had like 2 Diamond players, you know, like 2 lower rank players trying to take off some maps of Serral, and I think they did. Like, I think they won one of the series. So, you know, it's always an interesting experience to play against a better player. Like, a lot of people just look at it in terms of win or lose, but like it's also just interesting to be able to play against a better player and like see how that goes and see how they play, what they do. You also get that replay, of course, so you have some sources to learn, and you can maybe even ask for advice depending on the player. They may be willing to give you some words of advice as well. Anyway, we have some Zerglings sticking in, but I don't think they will be able to do much as we have the entire army of the Terran securing that third base. Wait, hold on, I got... Yes, this is a third base. I got a bit confused about the symmetry of this map. So this is a 4th of Sugarcoat, and this is the 4th of Battle Plans, okay. Oh, the Zerglings just melt in front of the Terran. They did get a bit of scouting done, I guess. They know that there is this third base, and the 4th CC already prepares too. As we have a bit of a drop across the map, but the Medivac is being dealt with by the Queens. This macro hatchery is kind of working as SimCity too. Battle Plans is aware of this 4th base, and will try to do some damage to it, but goes straight to the slow zones. Maybe not ideal. The medivacs arrive first as the marines are still lagging behind. And now this 4-base is in danger. The Zerglings are rolling in, the Banelings do have speed and they will be trying to connect with these marines. Some good connections there. The marines have been cleaned up and the Zerglings are now rolling down the ramp straight into the tanks. One of the tanks is saved, but the rest of them goes down. And this heroic drone lives to see another day. This drone is now part of the army. Battle Pants switches the focus, takes these 2 medivacs full of marines and will be going probably towards the main. Oh, but the Zerglings are here. There's so many Zerglings here from Sugarcoat. They will be surrounding the marines. And even though they are not able to kill them off, that's enough to scare off Battle Pants because he cannot really unload his units here. Another base here is set up for Sugarcoat and it's also under attack by another double drop, so Battle Pants trying to stretch the resources of Sugarcoat thin and he's kinda succeeded at that. 9 drones going down at this 3rd base and now he straight up loads into the main base. The Lingbane has to rotate, but it's kinda difficult with this many drops going on. We have a few Hydras joining the mix now, but there's not enough of them to defend from the drops on their own. They do pose quite a threat to the medivacs though, as one of them is quite low already. Meanwhile, this double drop is also going towards the base, but the Zerglings are here to respawn and most of the marines will be going down. Looks like this time there will be no pickup. One of the medivac goes down as well. But this is once again a distraction, as once again in the main base we have double drop. I mean, I guess this is like 1.5 drop because a lot of the marines are dead already, but they are able to snipe a new Hydra and a lot of drones. The army, of course, is eventually coming here to respawn, but 13 drones have died. Nice cleanup though, as Sugarcoat eventually is able to catch both of the medivacs together with the entire army. So that harassment is at least now gone. Oh, this is a window. Let's just rid of a window. Kuro is having a cat moment, or a magpie moment. Just looking at shiny things. Yeah, the tanks are sieging the base. The entire base is in danger. The Lingbane is rolling into the army of the Terran, but does not connect with the marines. The Banelings connect kinda with the tanks instead, and with the Lingbane gone, the Hydras are not really able to engage and there are so many marines still in this army. The marines are just going forward. The Zerglings are reinforcing that we have some Banelings morphing in on the backlines as well, but they are not here, they are not ready. Marines are moving forward. These Banelings are so close to being cancelled and some of them will be sniped. The Hydras are falling, there are not enough numbers here for Sugarcoat. Battle Pants is moving forward. And with that, GG is called. Battle Pants will be tying this series 1-1. GG, very nicely done there by Battle Pants. Yeah, we have a tied up series, currently waiting for the map selection from our player. Of course, this is once again, this is loser's pick, so we have a set map pool of currently 8 maps. For this TLMC edition we have 8 maps, and then the first map is on the bracket, but whoever loses the first game, the second game, can pick the next one. Slagnella. Getting ready. For game number 3, let me get some water. Welcome. Welcome to Selaginella. Or Selaginea? I guess you can read it in Spanish as well. Where we are in the left side, on the left side of the map, looking at the teal Zerg player representing Devil's Void and Latvia. It is Sugarcoat. And on the right side of the map, we have the red Terran player representing Hungary. It is Battle Pants. So I have a fun fact for you. I know somebody like I know Steel Mode probably will enjoy this, but I have a fun fact. I looked up what Selaginella is called in Polish, because fun fact, the Selaginella is a name of a plant. It's a nice little plant. And in Polish, it has the great name of... Hold on, can I remember? I did have it saved. Where is it? It is... Widliczka bezłodygowa. You're welcome. So, in case you were looking into owning such a plant, you can look up that Polish name, and I'm sure something will come up. I don't actually know anything about the plant. I just know that it exists. Oh no! It has one of these. So why do I say? So for those who don't know, these are what people call Zergrogs. This is a specific type of debris that slowly, like the health slowly degrades over time, and at some point, like it just straight up dies, and then this path is open. It can be saved with creep, so if you put creep tumor next to it, like the health will stop decreasing. I don't know if it heals. I don't think it heals, but at least it will stop dying. So. That is a new feature that has been appearing on maps already. We have a map in current map pool that does use that. What I don't like about this is all the tentacles. There's so much tentacling going on. And they move so much. Yaku, don't look. I know Yaku does not look this kind of thing either. But I know that like every time I'm observing on a map that has one of these and like it just like goes into my vision like just barely, I'm just so startled when I see it move. Like there's something about this movement that's just so bizarre. So yeah, there's that. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's fitting for such a structure, but it's just that like the tentacles are so long and so animated that it's really startling when you just see it on the edge of your vision. We have Roach Warren from Sugarcool already, so there will be some roaches on the way. Kinda like in first game. I mean, it did work very well for Sugarcool in the first game, so looks like they will be trying that once again, but this time Battle Pants is prepared with a tank. That will definitely help with the defense. Also working on the third command center. By the way, the main base of this map is gigantic. This is the maximum zoom. Like, zoom out, I guess, that I can have. And this is not even taking the entire main. So the main definitely is gigantic. There is a pocket base here. So that is something to keep in mind. There is a pocket base that you can take. But it also has a Reaper Cliff. So you have to be careful in case you are playing against Terran, because the Reapers may get in on that side. I believe there's Reaper Cliff anyway. It should be. I mean, it's even marked. Meanwhile, the other natural base that you can take is also quite open. You have an enters here and enters here as well. It's of course limited by those Zergrogs, as they call it, but as you see, the health is already almost completely down, so it is about to disappear. Oh no! There's a Nidus in the pocket! Battle Pants has no idea. He has never scouted the pocket, and yeah, he was not keeping an eye on it. And now with the Nidus, the Roaches, the Queens, they will be going straight into the main base of Battle Pants, where all of his defenses are on the front. But Battle Pants now knows he moves the entire army here, but I don't even know if there's enough army. There is one tank, which will be definitely helpful, but there are only some marines here. There is no creep, so of course these Queens will be very slow. Oh, there are two tanks. The SCVs are being pulled off the line. One of the tanks is sniped with the Ravagers, but the other one still stands. It looked like Sugarcool was trying to get to the other tank, but it was not able to, and just like that, GG is called. That was an all-in from Sugarcool, and Battle Pants will be taking this series and going straight into the finals. That was very risky strategy there from Sugarcool, and unfortunately for him, it did not work out. Battle Pants did take the series. He had solid defense, even though he was not aware of the Nidus going down in the pocket. He was still able to rotate the army, like the tanks were still decently in range, and yeah, was able to stop this. Very nicely done. And with that, we can take a quick look at our bracket. So as we were going over Battle Pants and Sugarcool, let me input the score over there. We also had some updates on the lower bracket. Horseradish took Matinator and then also took Captain Fish 2-1. So the previous SDO champion has been dethroned. And now that is the series we will be getting into. We will have Horseradish versus Last Ketchup going up on stream. So let me set it up. I believe Horseradish is a newcomer to our tournament. We actually don't have any info on them. As in, we don't have like their country or clan. No, Stimo, it's not that I don't like tentacles. It's that specifically these tentacles are a bit too much. Like, they don't have to be that much tentacles, you know? You know what I mean? Like, it's like someone like thrown like airforms on the map for some reason. And don't get me wrong, I like airforms. I'm one of those weirdos who tries not to step on airforms when it's raining and stuff. But I don't feel like it was necessary, you know? I'm also not huge on insects, and yes, I play Zerg. Anyway. Let me make sure I have everything ready. Okay, it looks like our players still need a bit of time, so we will go on a quick break. Make sure to get your snack, get your water, and we will be right back as soon as we have the next series ready, so don't go anywhere. And welcome back. Welcome back to Duckling Open number 132. We are currently in the semifinals and I'm no longer alone, as I now have a co-caster. Welcome, Light VIP. Light.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. It is interesting to be on this side of the Duckling Open. Typically, I'm adminning, but here I am as a co-caster. Hello, Koopa. Hello. How has the tournament been so far?
I mean, it's been pretty interesting. So okay, here's a fun fact. So I will share a bit of behind the scenes. So as the tournament started, I got messaged by Last Ketchup, and he was like, "Oh, I'm probably not gonna go very far in the tournament. Like maybe you could cast my game because I you know I'm not a very good player. He's in semifinals. Just saying. So you know, you just have to believe in yourself. Just believe.
Or don't believe.
Or don't believe. I mean,
yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Just don't believe in yourself and you'll do well. That's like...
Yeah, I guess there's also a way. But anyway, welcome to the semifinals. We are currently in the bottom semifinal as the top one just concluded, and we are on Sandworm, where in the top right corner we have the first of our players. It is the pink Protoss, representing themselves, known as Pretty Fly, but also as Horseradish.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the green Protoss player himself from Lena, Poland, representing Team Void. It is Last Ketchup.
So yeah,
do you want me to observe?
You can, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Some light observing. Ah, there you go. You guys missed that, didn't you?
Let's go, let's go. But yeah, so far, how have the games been? More importantly, how have the maps been? What have you been enjoying so far? Has any of the maps stood out to you? Is anything really speaking to you when it comes to the map so far?
I have one complaint about the maps so far. But something that stood out to me is Antimatter's minimap.
Okay.
Everything else is fine, but Antimatter's minimap. Because it does not correspond to what I'm seeing on the map. Like, it's different colors, different, like, it's just different. So, I don't know what went wrong with the minimap, but I feel like that should be fixed in a QA later.
Okay.
But
what about a positive thing?
Positive things. I mean, the maps have been very interesting so far. What was the map with the between Sugar Curd and Bottle Pants? What was it called? Was it Kill Switch? The one when you have maps in the middle, on each side. Like that one was very interesting because of the setup. Because you have the third base, like the triangle third base, and the main very close to each other, and there are like slow zones, and there's also like the edge of the map is very close, so there are like no spots for like liberates and all that stuff. They are still in the natural base, but like not so much around the main and third base. So that's very interesting because it's a bit more safer than usual. And I found that feature very interesting.
Okay. Fair enough. But I mean, here, welcome one all to Sandworm, as we do enter one of the more interesting maps on the map. Well, this is a rush map, very short rush distance by ground. To make up that, we have our teeth, if you recall. That was how it was noted in the description for the map. We basically have our own new version of the pachinko machine. So we do have these kind of teeth, or these big cones in the center that you can kind of weave your way through. This is a way to try to interrupt or disrupt the army as it moves out across the map. Otherwise, the map is very wide but very short vertically here, so it can favor some aggressive builds. We'll see. So far, nothing too crazy when it comes to the openers.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. And also, we have tested this, that like the teeth actually stop like wide range of units. Like it's not the same as it was on Neon Violet, where like most of the units could still pass through. Roaches do not fit in this, so it's only like the really small units that can go through the.
What about a Hydra?
I think Hydra is the same as Roach in the size, but you would have to test that. But I was surprised to see that Roaches do not fit into this. They were going around them.
Okay. See, that's good to note. Good to note here that right now it seems only like maybe Lings, Marines, and maybe Zealots as well. I mean, we saw the Adepts go through it, so the Adepts can move through as well.
So like the like single like humanoid almost units, I would say. I mean, Zerglings are not humanoid, but yeah, you know what I mean.
they're bipedal. You know, they're Brood Wars Zerglings.
Sure,
That's fine.
sure.
But so far we do have our openers. It was a 2-gate opener from both players. Both players going to be expanding as well. 3 probes already going to be going down. What's interesting here is that we have our pink Protoss playing standard going into Blink Stalker. Meanwhile, our green Protoss player instead going into charge.
Okay, okay. That's an interesting difference there. I mean, we've seen a lot of charge today, but also, I mean, we haven't seen PvP. This is actually the first PvP we are casting today, so we were blessed with a variety of matchups. So I'm curious to see how Blink Stalkers behave on these maps, because I feel like a lot of these maps have interesting features like Blink-wise, like there are some interesting ledges here and there. I'm not sure if on this map in particular, I guess the main is fairly open to Blinks, but yeah, I want to see some blinking around the map.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Horseradish for that. Some really kind of odd builds, actually, it's coming into play. We have basically 2 base set up here from Horseradish. Instead of expanding, he delayed his 3rd base for double forge. So he's going double forge, double upgrades. So very upgrade heavy here from Horseradish. Meanwhile, again, just really early charge and a gateway explosion from our green Protoss from last catch-up, but he's still taking up. So this is not going to be an all-in. He's throwing down his gateways, though. He's still not expanding.
Yeah, this is very, very committed, but interesting fun fact, as I was just looking at the minimap, Stalkers do not fit through the teeth, but Sentries do.
Yeah, they're small.
Sentries are small. They're round, but they're small.
They are. So there you go, another unit that doesn't quite fit, doesn't quite squeeze through those teeth, unfortunately. Maybe we can just see it here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just walking the long way around. Yeah. So I guess I'll take a detour.
Yeah, as we do commit to the fight here. Shield batteries are not ready, though.
Yeah, shield batteries are not ready. I mean, there's a lot of Stalkers here, and there is an Immortal as well. You gotta keep that in mind. But last SketchUp is very aggressive. He's focusing the Immortal, and just barely it goes down.
Yeah, massive pickup here. The Immortal does 4. 1-1 is not done yet for Horseradish. He's still barely not ready with those upgrades. Cannons are finishing up. Shield battery is ready, but there's only 1 shield battery left. And so far, he's trying to bust into the bases, but he's running out of zealots.
Yeah, there are no more zealots. The Sentry gets sniped as well, and these Stalkers are very vulnerable as Horseradish was finally able to amass the defense, and yeah, will be sniping most of these forces.
I mean, again, last catch-up has no blink. He has no blink.
Yeah.
He cannot escape. He's going to try to waddle away, but we can blink over the wall. Likewise, Zelda come in just in time to try to support, and they will keep some of these Stalkers alive. But again, I'm not so sure if this is a fight that we can take.
Oh, that is interesting. Because of the teeth, the Zealots also couldn't properly surround the Stalkers because of how they were positioned. So that's an interesting way where it can also work against the small units.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is a really defensive position here. Depending on where you are on the wall, you can take a better fight, even if you have a smaller army. So that's a big factor coming into this. Both players, after the aggression ends, they expand. It's a late 3rd base for both players, but both players are getting their 3rd bases up and running. Slightly faster here for last catch-up. I will say that Horseradish is going to be in a slightly better position just because of the upgrades. Now working on 2-2.
Horseradish also is doing an interesting thing where he marks every base on the bottom side to see if last catch-up is taking them. So he will be blocking this with pylons. And last SketchUp looks like he's ready for another wave of attack. I mean, I am not sure how successful this will be, but he does have Archons here, and there are no more Immortals in the army of Horseradish.
Yeah, last catcher once again is going to commit. The static defense has not yet been rebuilt. It's still on the way, and after shooting the 3rd base, after spawning it, looks like he does want that 3rd expansion.
Yeah, he will try to focus on that. The Warbeast tried to fly in and support the army of Horseradish, but is chased away by last SketchUp, but it looks like there is enough for the pink Protoss here.
Yeah, exactly. Zealots, they have to back off Archons as well. Archons are so very low. It looks like barely they will escape. Ooh, so close, taking some whole damage towards the end. But Horseradish, he can try to chase this down.
Yeah, he definitely can, and he has a War Prism for reinforcements now too, so this army will definitely be getting bigger as time goes on. Meanwhile, last SketchUp was pushed all the way back to his bases. Again, these bases on the bottom as well are being blocked from them, so last SketchUp cannot expand to the bottom of the map, and Horseradish has vision there.
Yeah, he has vision with all those pylons. He can reinforce with the Prism. At the same time, Zelda actually walk right into the main base, right through the natural. Prism is on the way as well, and so far, Horseradish is out of position.
Yeah, he's out of position, he's forced to evacuate the probes, but as the army is repositioning, that's the time for last SketchUp to move in. He tries to get the War Priest just barely. It looks like the War Priest will escape, but the Zealots are flooding in.
Yeah, Zealots they do fall on forward here, but the army is split up. At the same time, 3 probes go down. No major damage dealt yet here from the side of Last Ketchup, but he will be reinforcing more. Zealots going to be warped in using that War Prism. 4th base is taken on the left-hand side, and we'll see if Horseradish can keep up because there's not much at home to defend.
Yeah, and there's another wave of Zealots as at the same time there is an attack at that 3rd base, so Horseradish cannot really split the forces very well, but he has a Disruptor.
Yeah, Nova goes off, Duckling, the Archon's going to be going down, and the army will fall, but at the same time, that's going to be 29 probe kills. Zealots in the main base, likewise here at the third as well. The economy in shambles for Horseradish.
Yeah, Horseradish has to move. He has to go out right now, and he is moving his army forward. Not all of it, though. He's still considering defending. A bit hesitant there.
Yeah, he's indecisive. Does he attack? Does he not? He decides to turn back around. He does return back home, but the damage has been done. Again, 30 probe kills and the Nexus as well.
Yeah, the Nexus is gone, so remaking those probes will be difficult as well. And now, as Ketchup is targeting the pylons, which means the production is halted as well.
Yeah, the main base is going to be depowered, denies +3, denies the War Prism as well. The production is depowered, and from here, Last Ketchup is slowing things down. He's calming down, he's rebuilding. Remember, he did lose his main army, so he has to rebuild back at home. He's getting his 4th base. There's nothing pressuring Last Ketchup from attacking. He doesn't have to go in. He's already crippled his opponent.
Yeah, and it looks like this is not the end of Last Ketchup's plan either, as he's transitioning to air. Right now, he's putting down Stargates, he's putting out that fleet beacon, so he basically bought himself time to go for the transition, because right now Horseradish isn't much of a threat.
This is a very this is a really bold move.
It is.
Like
but
this,
I mean,
like
look, he
going into a
distracted the
Skytoss
opponent.
transition. Yeah, this is cool, but right now he's vulnerable. Like, the problem right now is that he's invested so much of his money into production, into tech, into, I imagine, carriers or Tempest, which takes a long time to rebuild. So even though he does have a lead right now, he is vulnerable until his Skytoss gets underway.
Yeah, I guess he saw that that Horseradish is more of a defensive play. He was trying to save his base despite of what was happening. So I guess he assumed he has the time to do so, and I guess we will see if he is right with that.
Yeah, right now there's going to be a window in time where Horseradish can end the game. If you look at the supply here, the supply is lying. Right now, Last Ketchup is up in supply, but that is worker count. That is the worker supply. The army supply is actually very close, which means Horseradish can end the game with a push.
He definitely can, and he will try to do so as he's actually moving across the map right now. I mean, the carriers are already in production, but it will be a while before they are fully operational. So this is the moment where he can really do some damage, and we'll see if he will.
Yeah, he has to commit to the all-in. Disruptors are available. Just the one disruptor, though. At the same time, we do see Last Ketchup engaging ahead of time. He cannot take this fight, by the way. Last Ketchup, he has to fight with his shield batteries.
Yeah, he has to move back to the shield batteries. He doesn't have the numbers. Ooh, the disruptor shot only connects with some Zealots, but the Zealots are very low and they will be going down. This looks like Horseradish is overpowering this. The first carrier enjoys the fight.
Yeah, exactly. The longer this game goes on, the better it is for Last Ketchup. So Horseradish has to end the game here and now. He will snipe the first carrier, and the second one rallies in.
Yeah, the second one rallies straight into the Stalkers, and 2 carriers down. The ground army is gone, and now the base is completely vulnerable. The only cannons stand there for defense. I mean, more carriers are still on the way, but single carrier cannot really oppose this army.
Yeah, and this is why we said that this is a really risky move here from Last Ketchup. Even though he was ahead, he used all that to tech up into Skytoss. It takes too long. It takes too long to get underway, and with that risk, Horseradish is here to end it.
Yeah, that he is, and I mean, Last Ketchup is trying to muster up the last defense here, but he only has some Zealots. He's trying to warp in some gateways, but even the gateways are going down, so there's less production for him too. And yeah, Horseradish will try to end this here and now.
Yeah, exactly. He took down the 3rd base, now he's going for the 4th as well. The expansions should be falling left and right. And sure, we have a couple of carries that are building up, but carries in low numbers, they don't really do much. There are plenty of Blink Stalkers, they can target them down one after the other, as we just saw.
Yeah, like single carriers aren't really that formidable of a force, and with this many Stalkers, they're in danger constantly. Also, once again, I mean, Horseradish has Blink, so he can just Blink on top of a carrier.
He really can, and right now, Last Ketchup, he shouldn't be engaging here. He does dive forward, he will get on top of the Disruptor. Disruptor goes down, but there are just so many Stalkers.
Yeah, the Zealots are trying to do what they can, but they are melting in front of the army of the Pink Protoss. The carriers are now going down as well, and it looks like this is the last of the forces of Last Ketchup. Still trying to defend till the last unit, but it's not enough. GG is called, and Horseradish will be taking game number 1.
GG, well played. Horseradish, he does take a lead. He was in a very rough position. He was down, he was out, his economy was crippled, he was forced into an all-in, but as we saw, the all-in did hit just in time. We did try to emphasize that there was a window in time where Last Catcher would be vulnerable because of his attempted rush into Skytoss.
Yeah, that was very risky play, and unfortunately for Last Ketchup, it did not pay out for him. As again, getting these carriers operational takes quite a while. Like, it's not just about making the carriers, but you also have to make the interceptors, and again, single carrier is not quite as powerful, so it takes a while before you have an army that's actually able to stand on its own.
Yeah, exactly. So, despite having a really strong start there from Last Catch-Up, did take a risk. I would argue a little bit maybe overconfident, just an overconfident move there from Last Catch-Up. Alas, he was caught out in the end, and with that, he will take a loss here in Game 1. But we'll see if he can bounce back, as it is going to be Last Catch-Up's map pick here for Game number 2.
I feel like that's also a thing that, like, as much as because, you know, Last Ketchup did a lot of damage to Horseradish bases. Like, he took down a lot of probes, he took down the Nexus, but the army of Horseradish wasn't like that damaged. Like, I don't think Horseradish lost that much in the army, so I feel like that also played into it. Because if Last Ketchup also dealt with the army as you know, all of that damage was happening, then he would have like a longer time before Horseradish would be able to build back up, because, you know, he has less economy, so it would take him longer. But because the army was already there, like, Horseradish didn't really have to build up a lot to have a formidable force to face him.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if he had maybe taken down the army as well, then he maybe would have been able to get away with something like that, with, you know, rushing into a higher form of tech. But as we saw, you know, the punish was there, and the punish did happen. So with that, GG well played. That does give us a 1-0 lead for Horseradish. Now we're getting ready for game number 2.
Yes, we are, as we need the player to pick out the map. As once again, this is loser's pick, and we'll see where we will go next. I'm interested in Sandworm. Sandworm is an interesting map, especially with the new pachinko. It's a very interesting, because, like, I don't want to call it a mechanic because it's not really a new element in the game, but it's an interesting concept to add to the map, and I will wonder how it will work out in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like a lot of these maps have unique quirks, they have unique features, and I mean, that's why I can't wait to check them out, right, for the Team Liquid map contest. It's kind of hard to judge certain maps if you just look at the PNG file, right? If you just looked at it on Wikipedia or on Team Liquid, you know, it is great to see them, like, in-game, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Especially since it's very different, like, seeing them live in the game than it is just, you know, looking at an image. Like, and you see how they work as well. Like, just the fact that, like, we found out that, like, actually the team, like this is more of a pachinko than Neon Violet City was. Like, there's actually a lot of units that cannot fit into this. So, like, there are some differences that you don't really see when you just look at an image.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, you know, which units can fit through, which units can't, right?
Exactly, and we will find it out together. Also, I want to say, this is the real reason why you wanted to cast this. You just couldn't wait to see the new maps.
True.
Because, as a reminder,
like,
for
players,
those...
step aside. I want to see the map that you're standing
I want to see the map. Because,
no.
Again, viewers, for those who might have missed it at the beginning of the stream, we will be featuring TLMC maps for pretty much the entire week, a bit more of the week. So tomorrow's Sparkling Tuna Cup will also feature a TLMC mapu, as well as the Nation's Turtle Tussle, and the next week's Sparkling Tuna Cup for sure. Like, at least those tournaments will be featuring the TLMC mapu. And it's a slightly different mapu for each of them. Because again, we have 16 finalists, so we decided to split it by 8 maps. And it's a slightly different mapu for each.
Yeah, exactly. We still don't know the specifics about how long the TLMC voting period is going to last, but until it does conclude, we'll do our best. We'll do our best to feature them.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's just like way back when with PTR. Like, we want to give it as much testing as possible so we can make some proper choices.
Oh yeah, exactly. Until then, though, jumping into game 2.
And this is the favorite map of Light VIP and Yaku as well. And we have not featured it yet today. Light, what is the map?
Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Steam City, we have the Polish Protoss player, the green Protoss representing Team Void. It is Last Ketchup.
And in the top left corner we have his opponent. It is the pink Protoss player representing themselves, known as Pretty Fly, but also as Horseradish.
Here we go, and yes, infamously, if you were tuning into the Pondcast, you would know that myself and Yaku were in love with Steam City. Not for any major features, like the map itself is very gray, it's very brown, but because the map maker, every map maker was able to add like a little summary, a little description to their map, and his summary was like one line. It's like, oh, it's like a standard map. Yeah.
No, it was like, it's a standard map, it has ramps.
Yeah. Yeah, has ramps. Good luck.
Good luck.
It's like, beautiful. You had all these other map makers with like these big essays, paragraphs upon paragraphs of like what they want out of their map. Yeah, with some jokes getting involved, and they were trying to like give into detail, even what they want out of that. No, just 2 lines. That's it. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a map. What more do you want?
It's a map. Exactly. What you don't want a map?
Also, okay, since I've been trying to keep track of this, let me quickly make sure I am correct. This map, Steam City, is by Chronoxeo, or Chrono. Yes, we will call him Chrono.
There you go. When it comes to this map, again, I guess the description gave a little bit of away. It is the diagonal spawns. It's very direct spawn locations as well. There's no crazy maps. There's no choke points from base to base. Once again, it does seem like a rush map. There is a steam vent in the center, and it is a little bit wider here towards the edges. There are a lot of expansions to take to, but again, the rush distance background is very direct here.
Yeah, and so we will see just how direct, as these 2 adepts are already shading into the base of Last Ketchup. There is no blockade here, but there are enough units to oppose them.
Yeah, we do commit to the shade. The wall was not done in time, and probes are going to be going down.
Yeah, it looks like they were able to focus 3 probes down, 4 going down in total. This Stoker should be able to deal with this adept, but yeah, 4 probes is still pretty good damage for that shade.
Very nicely done. 4 workers go down. Better trade here for our pink Protoss player. From here, we're going to be taking up. Once again, it is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of our pink Protoss. Our green Protoss back in the bottom right-hand corner. Last Ketchup is yet to throw down his own tech of choice.
Indeed. And, I hope it's not carriers, unless, to be fair, like, if he started now, maybe he can get there. But it is Twilight Council instead, so I guess we will once again... Question is, will we see once again Blink against Charge? Because, Horseradish is already going for that Blink, and ooh, a Dark Shrine!
Oh, okay. So we're mixing it up here. It's still going to be Blink-based opener, but we have Dark Shrine involved as well, I should say. Last Ketchup is going to be in an interesting position. It is not uncommon to skip Robotech and delay Robotech. So I'm very concerned here that we might not have detection in time when the DTs arrive.
Yeah, and he didn't go for an Oracle or anything either. He's working on that charge, as we did mention. And look at that. Horseradish even going for proxy, although I will say that proxy is pretty far away, so what exactly will you be putting there? Because the Dark Shrine is already in the main base, so it's not for hiding tech. Is it?
Yeah,
is
it's
it
just
like...
to warp in it.
Yeah, I guess you warp in there and just walk all the way.
Yeah. I would imagine just a warping location. Yep. To confirm,
Okay.
gateway just to warp in across the map, just so we can get across the map a little bit faster. As you mentioned, once again, 2 games in a row, it's going to be a charge-based opener out of Last Ketchup. But my big concern again, I didn't see a Robo, I didn't see a Forge, I didn't see any detection yet from Last Ketchup.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a forge either, because I think Last Ketchup is fairly fond of putting like cannons in his mineral lines and stuff like that, but there's no forge for upgrades either, so it doesn't look like he will have any detection whatsoever. And look at that, the Horseradish already warping the first DTs. He's also setting up a second proxy location to put it a little bit closer, and I don't think Last Ketchup will be ready.
Yeah, it's one of. I mean, this is one of the things that happens in the highest level play as well. You know, we've seen
Yes.
Max Packs die to this. We've seen Hero die to this. It is not uncommon in a PvP for there just not to be detection. There is zero detection, no Robo, no Stargate, no Forge. DTs are going to waddle in, and the reality is the game may just end.
Ooh, he cancelled the Nexus. He sniped the probe just as it was going to put down the Nexus, but at the same time, he might have gave it away that the DTs are here and they don't have access into the base. I mean, LastKetchup positioned his units on the ramp to the main. So, I mean, naturally still vulnerable, but at least the main base should be secured for now.
Yeah, Horseradish, he kind of got into his own head there. He delayed the aggression just because he was a little bit scared there was detection, but there's nothing here, and there we go. DTs are going for the pylon, probes are going to be going down, and there's no way to deal with it. There is a robot on the way, but if the DTs bust into the main, they can focus down the robo.
Yeah, the robo only just started. I mean, look at that, LastKetchup is trying to protect it with pylons. And, I mean, Horseradish is not interested. He's going straight for the probes.
Yeah, he's going for the mineral line instead. He's going for the workers. This does mean that the robot will finish and the observer will pop out, but the damage here is going to be insane.
Yeah, there will be so much damage done. Although the DTs are a bit indecisive as well. They go towards the robot now. They left all the probes in the natural base, and yeah, I think, as you said, Horseradish is getting into his own head.
Yeah, exactly. So a little bit of indecisiveness there from Horseradish does mean that in the end, LastKetchup will survive. He will clean this up eventually, but the damage has been done. And this is almost like a repeat of Game 1, where Horseradish was forced into a 2-base all-in because his economy was just broken. Likewise, LastKetchup should also be forced into an all-in here because his economy, it's in the gut.
Yeah, I mean, he basically has one base. I mean, a few more probes than one base, but essentially it's a one base economy. So he has this army and he will have to do something with it.
Yeah, he has to commit, and he does have a proxy across the map, so he can reinforce on the front lines, he can commit to a 2-base all-in, and he is moving out as we speak, and it's all or nothing here for LastKetchup.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. He has charge, so he has that going for him. No blink though, so it's just this charge zealots. And I mean, the army of Horseradish isn't actually all that big.
Yeah, just like last game, it's a repeat. Like, just the roles are reversed.
Yeah, basically.
The roles have been reversed. Yeah, LastKetchup heading in between the bases. There is a cannon to defend. Shield battery. We do have an army coming in from behind as well. There are some DTs in the mix.
Yeah, you have to be careful not to get sandwiched. Although, again, Horseradish does not quite have the numbers, and looks like LastKetchup is forcing that right flank over here. There are some reinforcing warpins of zealots, but charge is not done for Horseradish, so these zealots are weaker.
And likewise, the Observer finally comes in. DTs can finally going to be focused down. So we do see the army continuing to push on forward here. The Zealots are running out. At the same time, Horseradish going for a big Stalker counterattack.
Yeah, he snuck away some Stalkers there to go for a counterattack, but he's not going for that now as he has to micro the Stalkers back at home. He's still trying to defend this base and it looks like he will hold the ramp, but the third base is in danger.
Yeah, LastKetchup is running out of steam. He's running out of reinforcements. He's broke. He's running out of money. This is all he has left. And in the end, Horseradish is going to have plenty to defend and to deal with this army.
Yeah, he was able to hold out for long enough to you know, what is the word? Wheedle away the army of LastKetchup. Is that the word? Yeah. So he slowly sniped unit after unit until there was not enough to break the defenses, and now Horseradish is on counterattack. He's joining this Stalker armies. He has more DTs here. Of course, there is an observer for LastKetchup, but it can be sniped by these Stalkers.
Yeah, he can go for the snipe. He sniped it earlier as well. Bear that in mind. So again, Horseradish is fully aware of the potential. And speaking of, the observer has to be so careful.
Yeah, the observers see each other, so they know what the risk is. And there are still DTs in this army, so it's crucial that LastKetchup does not lose that observer, but also it just does not have the numbers right now.
It just doesn't have the numbers. No shield batteries, no shield batteries. There is one cannon in the mineral line that will help at least a little bit, but without shield batteries, the army itself is going to be very vulnerable here to Horseradish. Extra warpins are coming in, Archons morphing in as well, and back at home, Horseradish is enjoying a better economy.
Yeah, the third base is set up and pretty much saturated for the most part. Meanwhile, LastKetchup's third base is nowhere to be found, and he's trying to move out against this army, but ooh, this is a very risky move.
Yeah, it does try to break out. Zelt's going to be going down. The Archon's going to be targeted as well. Looks like in the end, Horseradish, he will break through this. And again, still no shield battery. One Archon left. Alas, Horseradish doesn't quite commit yet, but he's just going for another warp in.
Yeah, he has the warp is there for reinforcements, so he doesn't even have to use that proxy location. He has the reinforcements right there and ready. You know, Last Ketchup is trying to muster an army of his own, but as you said, there's no shield battery, so this is only just, you know, as much health as they have is what they're gonna have for this fight. And looking at the armies, it does not look pretty for Last Ketchup.
Yeah, it really does not. I mean, again, the problem is that Horseradish doesn't have to commit. He doesn't have to push in. He can just chill on 3 bases. He's even getting a 4th base as well, getting up to double the base count of Last Ketchup. Continues to reinforce. There is counterattack potential, but the army does try to break out.
Yeah, once again, Last Ketchup tries to break out, but he loses all the Archons. It's purely Stoke's army. It does have Blink now. He did catch up on that, but it's just Stoke's. He has an Immortal now, but with the numbers of Horseradish, it's still not a fair fight here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mirror matchup, so it's difficult to come back when you're behind, you know, when you're this much of a deficit, just because your opponent has the same tools that you do, so there's just a lot working against you here. There's combat potential with, like, DTs or with Disruptors, and he does take down the first Archon at least, but there are so many Stalkers.
Yeah, he brings forward to snipe a few key units, and he was able to get something done there, but unfortunately he still does not have enough, and he lost some units in the process too. We have a shield battery though.
There is, yeah, true. Now we have a shield battery, we have the energy overcharge as well. Another Immortal has arrived. From here, Horseradish could actually try to blink into the main base. He has vision, he has the observers, has the prism as well. Looks like he's setting up for potentially a counterattack. At the same time, once again, a greater fight here for Horseradish. It's just so difficult pushing into this concave.
Yeah, there are now 2 Immortals in this army, but with this many Stokers, these Immortals can be focused, and it looks like this is the last stand of Last Ketchup. He is shocked that this has happened, and GG is caught. It looks like Horseradish will be the better of the condiments.
GG. Well played, Horseradish. He will come out on top. Last Ketchup, unfortunately, just does not hold a candle. It's just not savory enough. Just not.
Oh, yeah. It's a ketchup, you know.
GG, well played. Congratulations, Horseradish. He will claim the series, and a shout to Last Ketchup as well, because may have gone down here in the semifinals, but again, we were giving him praise in game 1. Game 1 was a really good position for Last Ketchup. Just got a little bit too excited, rushing into Sky Toss.
Yeah, again, like I do think that in general, because we've been following the games of Last Ketchup today, in general, I think he has played very well today. Like, this has definitely been a really good run for him this tournament.
Exactly. You know, game 1, he was in a better position, he was ahead, and maybe was just a little bit too overconfident, a little bit too greedy. Game 2, it happens to the best of us here, where there was no detection. The DTs, they kind of, in a way, ended the game, or they at least gave Horseradish a massive lead, a lead that he did not quite let go of. I was able to cripple the economy. You know, things like that can happen at times, especially when you take risks, when you delay your robo.
Yeah, definitely. And as we said, it happens to the best players as well. Like, we have seen DTs ending games a lot of times, and it doesn't matter what level you are. If you're just, you know, caught off guard, it may end the game right there and there.
And it can straight up end the game. With that, we are going to be getting ready for our grand finals here. But before the finals, I believe we have, or I believe it would be, raffle time.
It is raffle time, except I don't have it set up, so please talk as I am trying to desperately copy the players.
It's all good. Yes, it is time for the grand finals here. Previously in the upper semifinals, Kuro was covering Battle Pants versus Sugar Cult II. It did go all the way to the ace match. Battle Pants has been patiently waiting in the grand finals. It's going to be Europe versus the land of Australia here in a best of 5, and game 1 is going to be taking place on Last Fantasy. I believe this was already casted on the channel already here in some of the previous matches. Last Fantasy is the only map in the TLMC that actually is a 3-player spawn map. It's the only 3-player spawn map in Team Liquid Map Contest.
It is. It is, in fact, the only free spawn map. It's just a bit unfortunate. We were hoping that there would be more than one, but still, it's interesting that at least one of them did make it into the final 16. I don't know if there were more submitted, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. Unfortunately, only one into the top 16, as you did mention, but at least we did get the one, and we're going to be able to feature it here and now in those finals. But, again, before the grand finals, we have something different. We have something special here in Sea Duckling Open. As with a lot of our events, we do host a random participation raffle.
That we do. So let us quickly switch to that scene, as our raffle is ready. And today we had 13 participants. Let me quickly refresh to make sure that it's all working. We had 13 participants. We had no walkovers, no shows, so the random raffle will be available to everyone who has signed up and checked in. And without further ado, let us randomize. So the winner for the random raffle today, drumroll please. Oh my god, I already see the result. Drumroll please.
Oh, did he do it? Is it rigged? Is it rigged?
Yakuzaku!
Let's go! Let's go! Hashtag rigged in the chat as Yakuzaku, the Singaporean caster, the pug himself, also player here tonight, does walk away $5 USD richer. There you go.
Yeah, for the first time ever, Yaku actually gets it, despite this being the meme for like the last 5 years or something. Like,
let's go. Let's go. So big shout out to Yaku again. He does walk away with $5 USD. Of course, there is an equal chance for all players to walk away with $5 USD. Who was the runner-up? Who was the
runner-up? It was, hold on, I can see on this screen, it's too small. Radar was the runner-up.
Oh, Radar. Oh, there you go.
It was close. It was close.
Yeah. GG. GG.
So once again, it's completely random. We do not know who's gonna get it. It can be someone in the finals, it can be someone in the first round, and today it just happened to be Yaku.
There you go. GG. We'll play it again. Hashtag reading the chat. As we can now jump into our grand finals. Again, it's going to be that best of 5. We have a full series available to us, and we're going to avoid the mirror matchup this time. This time we have a TVP.
I almost choked on my water, don't worry about it. But yeah, we do have a TVP, and actually in general, I don't think we had mirror matchups today on stream. Apart from that PvP in the semifinals, I think all the matches were actually not mirrors.
There you go. There you go. So we are able to jump into our Terran vs Protoss, which I think we've had quite a fair amount of here so far tonight. And if you're in the chats, get your Gamba ready. Not open yet, but in a couple of moments, in a couple of minutes, predictions will be open in the chat, so you can place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Get ready for that. Just waiting for our players to get ready as well.
Yeah, it looks like the signal is a go. We are ready for the finals of Sea Duckling Open number 132, the monthly tournament for Diamond players.
Yeah.
Let me go.
The last series, the last fantasy.
Ah.
Yes.
I still think it was supposed to be last Final Fantasy, but it was like, you know, a legally distinct Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Hey, it happened with Blackpink. You know, couldn't have it.
No, Blackpink made it true.
No, it was renamed.
Was it renamed? What was the name?
Yeah.
What was?
It's on Wikipedia.
I'm pretty sure Blackpink was Blackpink. I don't think they renamed it. They just removed all the like banners from it, but I don't think they renamed it.
But introduce our players.
Okay. Well, anyway, we are on Last Fantasy, and we are in the bottom left corner. We have our red player, Red Terran. I believe representing Hungary, but living in Australia. It is Battle Pants.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, or in the top center corner, as I did look it up, and yes, it was renamed to Neo Soul due to copyright infringement. So, as in the top center, we do have our pink Protoss player. It is Horseradish.
I genuinely don't remember that happening.
It's okay. But yeah, it was. I remember I only found this out recently just because I was looking up maps just because of OSC OSC because they do feature an extended map pool. So I was checking out Blackpink as a potential pick for that map pool. But welcome one and all to Last Fantasy here, and once again, there's a lot going on this map.
There is a lot going on, and I would say that the pattern of the speed zones in the middle is quite interesting. There's a lot of speed zones going on there. Also, I don't know if you noticed, because I don't know if, how much you were able to catch on the stream, but every map has added monster banners, which are really cute.
Yeah, shout out to the Monster Energy for, of course, sponsoring the TLMC.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's something that was like added later by, you know, like before announcing the finalists, like they added the little banners to the maps. I don't think that it was the map makers themselves, but like
yeah.
So it's cute. It's cute because it's fitting. It looks nice.
Yeah, it's they get added when they get uploaded by the TLMC account to the custom lobbies. And I believe they get rid of them for the LE version. So just for the TLMC.
Yeah, it's just for the TLMC. I want to say it may be Kantuva doing that, because I believe he's one of the main people involved in TLMC, and he is also like a former map maker. He was also like making maps of their own, but like now they have more of this like organizing role, I guess. So like they know what they're doing. What I'm saying.
Exactly, they know. But welcome to a 3-player spawn map. We do see Battle Pants. He does scout. He does confirm the location of Horseradish. Likewise, Horseradish also confirms as well. So they're both fully aware of each other. So far, economic openers from both players. Nothing too crazy. These speed zones are designed to make it a little bit faster to scout. As you can see, they're actually connecting Reaper cliffs. So Reaper scouting through the center, at least cross spawn, is going to be a little bit faster. Likewise, worker scouts as well. So that is to help supplement, kind of cater to that early scouting issue to make it a little bit faster to scout across the map. So it is easier to scout. Likewise, we have an interesting build here from our Terran player. Battlepan's going to be going for a 2-on-1.
Yeah, 2-on-1 with Widow Mines as well. Widow Mines is something we have not seen yet today, so it will be interesting to see how they do on this map. As a reminder, there are air blockers around the map, so you cannot really hide medivacs or liberators behind the bases. So, you know, these Widow Mines may be quite visible in case they are dropped.
Yes, exactly. These are massive blockers here, so there is less dead space behind the bases and behind the mineral lines. So it is more difficult to harass at certain times, especially with Liberators, with even Banshee harass. I mean, any kind of harass into mineral lines is going to be weakened. But despite that, the army is getting ready to move out. At least it is spotted by the Adepts.
Yeah, the Widow Mines are shown to the Adepts, so Horseradish will be aware that Widow Mines are a possibility. Medivacs are still on the way, so the drop is not coming for a little while longer, and we'll see Horseradish will get ready for this.
Will get ready. Stalker's going to be massing across the map. Blink is on the way. It is going to be a 2-gate Blink opener out of Horseradish. 3rd gateway is on the way. So very safe play here by our Protoss, and the goal is to slow down the push, is to slow down the aggression here of the Terran.
Oh, he may snipe it. It's getting in position, and he will snipe this medivac together with all of the forces inside of it. The entire full medivac going down.
Exactly. Battle Pants, he boosted into the army, so boost was on cooldown. It was not available. He could not boost it away, and with that, Horseradish, he will shut down the drop.
Yeah, the Widow Mines will help with the defense from the Adepts, but that was a big loss there for Battle Pants. He now has only few Marines to his name. He is of course making more, but for the time being, this base is vulnerable.
Yeah, the base is vulnerable. SV is going to be going down. More Stalkers have arrived, and this is getting a bit out of hand here. Bearing in mind, there are no tanks behind this. There is a Cyclone that will help, but this is some great damage already dealt by Horseradish.
Yeah, and that bunker is barely not ready yet. It just finishes now, so for a long time the Marines did not have a place to hide, and so many SCVs are already going down.
Yeah, exactly. 5 SCVs going to be falling. 1 Stalker finally does get dealt with, and finally Battle Pass he is held. He can now go back to mining, but this is a delayed economy from the Terran player. He wanted to move out with the stim timing, but last he won't be able to. He does have a very fast 3rd TC, so he can recover. He can make 3 workers at a time, but this so far is a great start for the Protoss.
Yeah, and as all of this was happening, Horseradish was able to establish a 3rd base. the Nexus has just finished. He's about to saturate it as well. He's working on, you know, he's working on his production. He's working on his charge, getting the tech ready. He already has a robo. So like, Horseradish is prepared to just go to the next phase of the game, while Battlepants has to make up for the losses.
Yeah, exactly. So really nice setup here from Horseradish, going into Blink Stalker, Charge as support, and likewise into Colossus production as well. Everything is looking solid here for Horseradish, and the pressure is now on the Terran player to break out. And the problem is that he can't really break out anytime soon. Doesn't really have much of an army to work with at the moment. He has tanks, so he's solid defensively, but it's about when and how he can take his third.
Yeah, we'll see if we can do so. For now, these Stalkers are still keeping an eye on what's happening on the Terran side of the map. Of course, this is not a force that should be able to stop what Battlepants currently have, but they at least keep an eye on when it's happening.
Yeah, we do fly a little bit too close to the sun. One stalker going to be going down. A second stalker goes down as also nice wiggles here by Battlepants. At the same time, we're going for a committed drop across the map. These are Marines alongside a Cyclone right into the mineral line.
Yeah, this one was not spotted by Horseradish, so it's able to land in the natural base, and probes will be falling. Actually, the Stalkers get recalled back into the base.
Yeah, forces a recall, so nicely done here by our...
Uh-oh.
Oh, no,
He doesn't know!
no, he's
know!
stuck! Oh, no.
He was trying to hide behind the panels, but there's no way to go behind the panels.
Yeah, exactly. This is a bit of a learning curve to the map. As we were mentioning at the start of the game here, is that there are these side blockers. They deny anything from getting into the corners of the map, and unfortunately, Battlepants, he didn't know.
Yeah, it looks like he did not realize that was happening, and in result, he does lose that Medivac, but he has another force ready and moving across the map. Ooh, he meets the Protoss.
Yeah, he tells me the Protoss, bearing in mind he is expanding behind this. Third base is going to be landing on location. Battlepants, he is going to be steaming it. Oh my god, he's so fast at the speed zones.
I was gonna
He's
say,
crazy.
look at those Marines. The steamed Marines in the speed zone. What the?
They're crazy. Oh, it's speed zone into speed zone. Like they just keep going. Like they just keep running.
Yeah, they just don't stop.
Ah.
It actually looked unsettling. We're too fast.
Oh no. I mean, it goes both ways. As a Protoss army can also benefit. You can see the Colossus just rushing on forward as well, meeting up with the army and the tanks. They're going to be late to siege.
Yeah, they're not able to siege at all, actually. It looks like maybe Battlepants will try this higher ground position, but I mean, the Protoss army is already there. First tank already goes down.
Well, just the one tank though. The second tank does barely survive. Colossus taking a lot of hits. One more volley. Up, barely does not get the Colossus. Tank's going to be falling. Chargers have arrived, and Horseradish is forcing his way through.
Yeah, it looks like the ground army of the Terran is no more. The Colossus does fall, so that's a nice pickup there, but there's no army here anymore, and Horseradish will be taking game number 1.
GG, well played. Horseradish will take a lead in the series. A very intense game 1 on a wild map. That was great.
You know what I didn't do?
Predictions? I thought so.
Because you said, oh, they're gonna be starting soon. You know, not now, but soon. So I'm like,
they're
not starting now. Okay.
That was my cue. That was my very, very subtle tell to you, Kuro, to like, oh, that means you're getting them ready, right? That means.
I mean, they were ready all this time. They were always ready.
Uh-huh.
It's just not executed, you know. Shaking my head. I even have a post-it note. Unironically, I have a legit post-it note.
God. As we are getting into game number 2, as a reminder, this is loser's pick, and Battlepants, no hesitation, immediately he wants Sandworm.
Okay. I mean, I'm glad to see that, like, over the course of the tournament, like, the players are also finding their favorites, are finding the maps that they're the most comfortable on, because I mean that's kind of the point of including this map in this tournament, also in these amateur tournaments, so the players can familiarize themselves with them before they potentially end up on ladder.
Oh yeah, exactly. And now Battlepants, he knows to veto Last Fantasy immediately. He knows.
See, the problem is, I feel like people are generally not very fond of Last Fantasy just because they're like, oh, it's free play map, scary. But you know, maybe give it a chance first.
No. For Battlepants, it's air blockers. Scary.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like a lot of Terrans will not be fond of Last Fantasy in general.
No.
But anyway, with that, we are now on our next map. It is Sandworm. Once again, those dragon teeth. Where in the top side of the map we have our red Terran representing Hungary, but in Australia it is Battle Pants.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the pink Protoss player leading the series 1-0. It is Horseradish.
Also, I kinda missed that comment in the chat, but Steve was asking if now he has to eat his fries with horseradish instead of ketchup.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, horseradish is not a bad condiment. Don't get me wrong.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't know if I would call it a condiment though.
Yeah, I don't know,
weird.
but like you can get it like in a jar, so I guess it kind of counts as condiment.
Does that count as a condiment? Just put it in a jar? Like I wouldn't say that pickles are a condiment.
True. True.
It's like a side dish.
No, hold on. But horseradish, you can get horseradish as a paste, right?
Okay.
Am I translating
Or you can
this
just
wrong?
get. I mean, you can, but you can also just get horseradish, like as like pickled horseradish.
Yeah, you can. It's not really a thing here, you know. Like when in Poland, it's mostly as a paste. I'm pretty sure. Like radish is like ate as a vegetable, but horseradish I think is mostly used as a paste.
Okay.
I want to say, not always, but mostly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just mainly know it as like a side dish.
Okay, okay. I guess I mean.
Like in Korean barbecue.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Asian cuisine is more
Yeah.
about the pickled horseradish and stuff. So
Yeah.
so fair. Oh, we
Never
have a
had
battle.
it in paste form.
You never had it in paste form, really?
No, never.
It's very often eaten here for Easter, actually, for some reason. But
Easter
yes, for Easter specifically.
with chocolate eggs.
No, we don't. Look,
You put it
Hold
in
on.
the egg.
we have to explain the whole thing about Polish Easter. So Polish Easter is about, among other things, I'm not talking about the religious side of things, but the tradition is that you have Easter breakfast. So for breakfast you have like eggs, you have sausage, you have bread, you have ham. Like you have various like items for breakfast, and you eat them with horseradish paste. And that's just a thing, you know.
Okay.
Obviously, it will differ from from household to household, but it's one of the traditions that we have for Easter.
But he's taking a lot of damage, by the way. 3 SCVs going to be going down here, really struggling to hold on as workers they just keep on falling, and we might just be able to break into the main base as well. Now, the reason for all this damage is a faster TC, really greedy build here by Battle Pants, and with that, he will lose 5 workers already at the start of the game.
Yeah, that's some big losses there already, and I mean, this base is under siege by these 2 units. The Hellions will try to help out, but I mean, the Hellions are not really a defensive unit here.
Yeah, and we're forced to live. The CC is on fire. We're contained on 1 base economy here, and this is just a disastrous start for Battle Pants. The army does dive in, more Stalkers they come in to reinforce, and those Hellions are looking quite fragile.
Yeah, I mean, the Adept did go down, but the Stalkers are still here. The SCVs are trying to deal with them, and one of them will be going down, but yeah, taking a bunch of units here.
Yeah, exactly. 2 Hellions do full. Second Stalker has arrived so far. Nice control by Horseradish, able to kite back, able to pick up more and more SCVs. And again, the greed of Battle Pants is just punished so hard. Is working towards Stim, is working towards the mid-game setup here, but he just has no economy.
Yeah, no economy, and he has to fix this base as well, which also, costs resources on its own, so not only resources, lost mining time because the SCVs are fixing this command center, and the Stalkers are still there, still doing damage.
Yeah, and that was a kill, not a cancel on the bunker. Still more SCVs going to be falling. Again, there's nothing behind this. Tank is on the way, but right now it's just pure marine. There is no bunker, and without a bunker, you can be abused very easily here by a Stalker army. You can see the pylon does reinforce across the map. They're going to be slow warpins, but warpins nonetheless, and the Stalkers, they want more.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few Marines here, but they are being picked up by the Stalkers. Obviously, Stalkers are way more bulky than the Marines are, so without any protection, they're not that good against them, although we do have a tank on the high ground now.
Yeah, tank has arrived with that. Another Stalker goes down. We're down to 3 Stalkers remaining here for our Protoss player. And finally, he's going to be forced back. Finally, Stim is done, which means we can chase this down. There is no blink. In the end, Battle Pants, he will hold, but a rough hold.
I'm not sure if Battle Pants has seen the proxy, but I guess he sees where the Stalkers are coming from. And it's not exactly, you know, a rally location, so he may be able to find it, but he doesn't have the units to contest it right now.
Yeah, exactly, and he did overextend. More Marines going to be going down. The tank finally has arrived, and the tank should be able to hold on to the natural base. There's no real answer to the tank yet. No without blink, so finally Battle Pants will hold on to his natural. Finally, he can saturate, but it took a lot. Took a lot to get here.
Yeah, it took a lot of units, a lot of like sacrificed economy, while at the same time Horseradish was able to set up his third base. Once again, that Nexus is finished. There are no workers there yet, but they will be soon.
Yeah, exactly. So Horseradish is in a very comfortable position, at least economically. From the side of Battle Pants, it's hard to commit to a 2-base all-in when there's a third TC, right? He rushed into a third base. What I mean by that is that he doesn't really have too much of an army to work with. The Starport's still in production. There's no medevacs. Combat Shields just began. So for the time being, Battle Pants is stuck at home.
Yeah, he's stuck in the defensive position, and it looks like Horseradish doesn't want to let go of the offensive either, as he's still warping more units across the map. Charge has only just started, but he's warping in Zealots regardless, I guess building up that Zealot count ahead of time.
The chat is making me hungry.
I know, right?
No. Just everyone's talking about food now.
Yeah, I mean, look. Steam mode started. Everybody blames Steam mode. If you are hungry after this stream, blame Steam mode. He was the one who pointed out that it's the battle of the condiments. Okay.
They have the chicken salad with some horseradish, or some burgers, some KBBQ.
Time to order takeout. Okay.
No. It's time for Easter. Let's go.
I mean, Easter is not that far long, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Have some horseradish. As Battle Pants does break out, does expand, third CC now finally going to be taken here. But last, as he breaks out, we are ready for a massive Zealot run by him. Assuming he doesn't come in for this round.
Yeah, he could, but I don't think that's exactly what Horseradish is planning. I think he is keeping those Zealots for the run by. There is a lot of Zealots though.
That's a lot of Zealots. Stalkers, they warp in towards the third base. Zealots, they're activated. They're going to be headed towards that expansion as well. Actually coming from behind, going for the tanks.
Okay, I'm not sure if that was intentional, but it works out as they're going on top of the tanks, and they will be able to deal with all of them. So now the Stalkers have freeway, and just like that, Horseradish takes game number 2.
Ooh, GG. Well played, Horseradish does take a further lead in this series, takes game number 2, and now we are on match point. Once again, just to wind it back a little bit here, it was just a really rough start for Battle Pants. Again, he went for a very greedy build. He rushed into a third TC, and he did skip his bunker on the low ground, and we saw just how well Horseradish did punish that low ground. He killed 5 SCVs, and he did have a massive delay on that natural expansion.
Yeah, massive delay, and then the Hellions did not help either, because it looked like Battle Pants was looking forward to, like, you know, doing some harassment across the map, but that didn't work out for him either, so that delayed everything even farther back. And yeah, and with that, Horseradish was able to snowball eventually.
Oh yeah. Yeah, was able to snowball out of control. Again, was able to get a very comfortable economic lead. And now the pressure is on Battle Pants. Time and time again, even in game 1, I'll be honest, we had some pretty greedy builds out of Battle Pants. We had some very greedy builds, and he has been punished time and time again for his greed. Do we slow things down here, or do we speed things up? The pressure is on Battle Pants. He has chosen his next map. He did take a little bit of time here to settle on it, but it's going to be on Kill Switch.
Yeah, I hope Battle Pants is careful, because Kill Switch is another map that doesn't have a lot of dead air behind the bases.
You're not right. It has 0 dead air behind the
No,
bases.
no, behind the natural there is some. Behind the natural there is some.
Uh-huh.
But not behind the main.
What I'm referring to, if you remember, we went over this map alongside Yaku here. There is no dead space behind the main, and at the natural, there's actually a really wide area behind the mineral line, and that is so it is easier to punish harassment. So if drops come in, now there's more land there that something like Blink Stalkers can try to use to traverse to punish the drops. So they have to go further inland to get damage
Yeah,
done.
yeah. But you can still theoretically, you know, hide a medivac somewhere. So that's
Yeah,
that. There's
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. As we are now on kill switch.
Yep.
On the left side of the map, we have our red Terran player from Hungary. It is Battle Pants.
And spawning in the right-hand corner, right-hand side of kill switch, we have his opponent. We have the pink Protoss player leading the series 2-0. One game away from becoming this month's Sea Duckling Open champion. It is Horseradish.
So I guess if Horseradish wins this final, we all have to get some dish with horseradish in it, huh?
Yeah, we need some horseradish.
But what if Battle Pants wins?
Then we need to battle our pants.
Ah, of course.
Yes.
It's what you do every day.
Get it out. It's a battle. It's a war sometimes. No. Every day. It's crazy.
And the players are battling them constantly as well. They're trying to keep them on as they keep falling. You know, it's a hard battle.
It's a tough life without a belt. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah, the pants are always down.
Those who know, they know.
Yeah. As we settle into kill switch already, we do have a cheeky start here by a Horseradish. Does go for the pylon block to delay the expansion, but something that you can do as Terran, of course, is you can lift and land the CC. So this will delay, and this will force, a lift and land out of this command center, but it shouldn't delay for too long.
Honestly, I like at this point, considering all the context of previous games, I'm not sure if this is really to delay the command center or more to like just annoy your opponent, you know, to just throw them off so they maybe mess up something else in their build. Because you already had like these early games that didn't really go Battle Pants' way, so to, you know, throw another wrench in the works again, like it may be quite annoying.
I mean, it's happening because it's going to be Zealot first, followed by the Adept. What's the plan? What's the goal? The Zealot does avoid the Reaper. The Zealot is making his way towards the CC to delay once again, and the Adept can likewise also shade across the map. So it is a very aggressive start here by Horseradish. Reaper dives into the mineral line. Oh, that's around! Oh my god.
Ooh, see those areas right there as the probes are able to take down the Reaper, of course, with the help of the Adept, but nonetheless. And the CC is so close to finishing, but...
Oh no! The RNG not working out there. The SCV does go down. The CC is going to be delayed. And it's not just the Zealot. Here come the Adept as well.
It goes through the slow zone, so it's gonna be a while. But the Zealot is buying enough time nonetheless. The CC is close to finishing. We'll see if it will be able to finish. It's very, very close. Yeah, it should
it's very
finish.
close here. Adept does move in, going for the Marines. First Marine is going to go down. CC thankfully does complete, and that means that we can just freely morph this into an orbital. We can fully wall off, and the natural should be safe and sound, but all the SCVs are not.
Yeah, the ones that already transferred down are unfortunately in danger. It looks like both of them will be going down. Of course, the CC is not really in danger from the Adept, but nonetheless, it will be an annoyance in the natural base of the Terran.
Yeah, behind this, once again, really fast third CC out of Battle Pants. He goes for a 2-on-1 setup, rushed into the third CC. Now, this third CC does delay the Cyclone, so the Cyclone is later than it should be, and that means that more damage is going to be dealt. Now, the Cyclone will clean this up, thankfully, is going for a safety Cyclone, so he should be okay. But again, just for the third time, it seems like his go-to in this matchup, fast third CC.
Yeah, I guess so, but do you think this is just the build, or is it like a response to, oh, like I can't take the base, so I guess I should double expand?
Because of what happened in game 1 and game 2, it's just the build, I think.
Okay.
Like he just keeps we just keep going for the fast third CC, so it does feel like it's his go-to style, but it does mean that his early game is weaker as a result. It does mean that he is more vulnerable in the early game, and that's what's been happening so far in game 1, game 2, and now here in game 3 as well.
Yeah, basically it means that something does not go according to your plan. You know, everything else in the build is delayed as well, and that is a very vulnerable position there for our Terran player, but he will try his best at this nonetheless. I mean, he is able to set up this natural base, and the third base is already underway. It's already finished. It's morphing into an orbital, so he will have that available.
Yeah, behind this was a gate expand out of our Protoss. So for the first time this series, he's actually going to be taking his third base faster than his opponents. So really fast third base here by Horseradish. Typically we see 2 or 3 gate setups before the third base from Horseradish, but this time he does cut corners. So this time our Protoss is actually being quite greedy himself as well.
I mean, he has a lead in this series, he has a lead in the game, so might as well, you know, try something more greedy and see where that leads him. He will have those Immortals ready as well, so that may help with the Cyclones maybe, although they can be kited, right?
Yeah, they can be kited. The first Immortal was on the way, as you did mention. This is an early push from our Terran player. Remember, no stim. No stim here. It's just Vanilla Marines lock on the Sentry. Sentry does go down. Nice pickup here initially, and we can try to go for some of these Stalkers, but the Immortal has arrived.
Yeah, the Immortal has arrived. The shield is being triggered by the Cyclone. We have a shield battery here in the third base, so that will definitely help with this defense. And yeah, Battlepants sees that it will be difficult to engage this. He's trying to find a good position.
Yeah, he's looking for a better position. So far, with the help of the shield battery, though, Horseradish should be fine. He should be fine. He should be okay. He's going to try to break out, targeting down at those Cyclones. In the end, Battlepants, he will be able to escape.
Yeah, that Cyclone just barely escapes, but he is going towards the slow zone, so he has to be careful. Ooh, blink forward.
Does blink forward. One Stalker goes down as a result. There's the recall here back home as he does overextend. He does pull away.
Yeah, he does pull away. Stays safe at the third base. He did waste. He did use up that recall, which I don't think he will need anytime soon, so maybe it will be fine, but, you know, it was a bit of a dangerous situation there.
Yeah, it was a little bit dangerous, so in the end he does pull away, saturating his third base. Meanwhile, Battlepant's taking his own third as well. And I will say, for the first time this series, the early game hasn't gone too poorly for Battlepants. Did delay his expansion, did lose 2 SCVs, but that is the best start that he's had the entire series, and now he can finally saturate his third base without too much issue.
Yeah, like despite you know, still some obstacles in the beginning, since some hurdles over there, like he's able to set up these 3 bases and he will be saturating that third as well, so it's definitely going much better than the previous games, and we'll see what he can do with that economy now that he can actually play a proper game, as Horseradish is working on Colossus.
Yeah, we have the Colossus follow-up, so it's going to be Blink Stalker into Charge into Colossus. We've been seeing this same setup here game after game from Horseradish. We haven't really seen proper mid-game between these two players. So far, the games have been very fast. They've been pretty short games overall in Game 1 and Game 2, but now we're working towards the mid-game. And even though we have some Colossus, as long as the tank count is solid, we should be okay back at home. Battlepants should be able to hold on as he's still working towards his tank transition.
Oh, but he's also dropping in the natural base of his main base. The main base of Horseradish. The Marines are here, they are dealing damage to these probes, and they will deny upgrades as well.
Not bad. Depowers the forges, picks up a couple of workers. Remember, recall's on cooldown. As you mentioned, recall is on cooldown, so no recall into the main. Has to walk on over, and the job will get away.
Ooh, will it get away? Just barely. Yeah. Another blink and this medivac would be done for, but it just barely escapes with half the health, and it looks like it should path away from the Protoss, so looks like it will be safe. But yeah, dealing these upgrades is definitely nice there.
Yeah, even delays Extendable Lands. Extendable Lands can't even begin. Can't even begin here for the Protoss, so a very nice delay here. It does slow down the Protoss army, and this means that the tank count is building up. 4th CC is on the way. Once again, fast expansions here out of our Terran player, getting to our 4th CC and setting up on the high ground.
Yeah, but he has to be careful because the Protoss army is right here, right now. The Zealot gives it away a little bit, but he has to prepare for defense. The tank is not siege, so he doesn't have a position yet, but Horseradish is also looking for an entrance of his own.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about the low tank count. It's just the one tank here to defend. The Bio Army is building up. We have one Colossus pushing forward, and we'll see if this position can be broken. The depots will help when it comes to creating some SimCity here to defend, but we'll see if he can hold on, as we do see our Protoss splitting up in between the natural and the third.
That's an interesting strategy, just lifting that one Colossus into the natural base. Meanwhile, the Stalker army with the Immortal is attacking on the front, and I mean, Battlepants has to split his army, but is he able to do so?
Yeah, the Stalkers are going to be going down. The Zealot crumble here, so a nice win here for Battlepants on the right-hand side. At the same time, Zealot coming towards the left, but they're also going to be dealt with. The Colossus did survive in the Prism, but he threw everything else away.
Yeah, that was not worth it in the end for Horseradish, and he has to go back home, but now look at this army of the Terran. This is a formidable force, and Horseradish is still busy rebuilding.
Yeah, exactly. Again, for the first time, this was the best start to the game for our Terran player. Did get into his 3 bases, did get into the mid game, and now that he's here, he is about to overwhelm as there's almost nothing to defend. There's one shield battery, Vikings, they push forward, the Bio Army as well, and right now is his time to shine. Right now, it's time to move in.
Yeah, moving he will. I mean, he's still trying to find a good position. The shield batteries are on the way, so there will be more support there, but nonetheless, Horseradish is deciding to be offensive.
Yeah, Battle Pants is a little bit indecisive here. He's not really too confident about pushing forward, but I do think that he's missing his window. I do think that that would have been the time to push in, but now it's too late. Now there is a second Colossus, so it feels like he is missing his window. I say that he's waiting for reinforcements to stim across the map, but as time goes on, it's getting more and more secure for the Protoss.
Yeah, time is what Horseradish needs the most, and yeah, he was able to join in with a second Colossus. The Stalkers also sniped a few Vikings there, so whittling down that force too. And Battle Pants recognizes this. He is actually going back home.
He's rotating. He just scanned the 4th base, so he's rotating over towards the 4th. So he's still getting some damage done, but he missed that moment to kill. He missed the moment to break, to kill a Horseradish. So Horseradish, he will survive. He will persevere. He will have a chance to recover. Storm is halfway done. Horseradish may lose this 4th expansion, but at least he's still in this game.
Yeah, indeed. And he will try to defend here. It looks like he will keep the position and the 3rd base, but he is engaging with this army actually.
Yeah, he is going to be engaging. Storm is not done, by the way. These High Templar, they're not going to be able to do anything. The first Colossus does go down. Massive pick off here for Battle Pants.
Yeah, I mean, Horseradish did pick up a tank, but he loses a base for it and loses the Colossus as well. So in the end, it's pretty good engagement for Battle Pants.
Yeah, he could have kept going as well, but he doesn't know what we know. He doesn't know that Storm wasn't ready. All these High Templar can be very intimidating to look at. So if he believed that Storm was ready, he knew that he could not push into this. Storm wasn't, but alas, does pull away, and with that Horseradish, he does survive.
I mean, Storm was only a few seconds away, so like it's not really a big difference there. So if he guessed wrong, like he could have just run into that army, and his entire army could get stormed and just disappear. So. Definitely. Yeah,
I mean, you see 5 High Templar, you assume Storm is done.
Yeah, like definitely fair choice to play on the safe side over there.
For sure, for sure. With this Battle Pants, he's maxed. He's maxed out 200 supply, and he needs to make use of this army as well. He has to make use of it. He has to start trading. You can see Battle Pants, he has almost 3,000 minerals in the bank. He can afford to lose Marines and rebuild them. Now's the time to fight, because the longer this goes on, the closer the Protoss is from maxing out as well, and meeting him in that army supply.
Yeah, and it looks like Horseradish found a different avenue of attack as he's going from the bottom side of the map. He has this army here with 1 Colossus with all of those High Templars, and Storm is ready now. He also sends an observer forward to make sure he knows where the army of the Terran is. Yeah,
and Battle Pants, he's scanning. He's scanning every base. He sees there is no expansion. He knows that there's no 4th, but again, he's building up a bank. And this is where I'm the most concerned, because right now, we're getting closer and closer for the Protoss to max out, and that means he will still have a chance to win this game to recover.
The Medivacs are so close to the army, they may get sniped. But no, they unload just in time. Oh, never mind.
One Medivac does. Both Medivacs do go down, so nice pickoffs here from our Protoss player. Very nice start. At the same time, Stalkers are getting picked off. And Battle Pants, he's playing so scared this game. Part of it may also be because of the series, right? He's down 0-2. He's 1 loss, and he is out of the tournament. So he's playing very scared, but that is working against him.
Ooh, that one ghost. It's on a mission.
Yeah, he was looking for the EMP, but he gets feedbacked instead. He will kill 1 High Templar, which is nice, but again, he's still pulling back, still taking his time. We get another warp in, and now we've gotten there. Horseradish, he is about to max. He was once down 60 supply, now he's only down 20.
Yeah, this is now a formidable force there from the Protoss. There are Disruptors in the mix as well. Only 1 Colossus still, but I think 1 Colossus is still fine considering the rest of the army.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, there's no second robo. There should be a second robo at this point. We should be making 2 Disruptors at a time. Even though this Protoss army is maxed, it's very kind of inefficient army. It's a very cheap army. Zealot Stalker.
It's kind of soft.
It's almost purely a gateway composition.
Yeah, we're like... You know, it's big in numbers, but like these gateway units may die very quickly in an engagement, and then you're left with no support for those bigger units.
Do you know what we say, Kuro, when we see this kind of army?
What?
We say the supplies. Because the super, he's maxed out, but it's lying. It's
It's a
again, as you
horse
said, it's a very
radish,
fragile
so-
army. It's a very fragile army here. It does take down the CC, but one army is not quite like the other. As you mentioned, Battle Pants, his army is much more efficient, much more cost efficient, has a lot more potential here to gain greater efficiency. Meanwhile, Zealous, they do get into the middle line though, SCV's going to be going down.
Yeah, the Zealots were missed by the army of Battle Pants, and a lot of SCVs will be going down, but the Zealots are dealt with eventually.
At the same time, Freedom has arrived. That's a lot of Freedom Zone here. Zealots go down. They do trade with the SCVs, but the main army of Battle Pants is still looking terrifying as we're building up more and more Liberators.
Yeah, this is... How many are there actually? We have 9, okay. We have only 9 right now. Four in
13.
production at the same time though.
Yeah. Meanwhile, mass scans, you can see Battle Pants is looking for the bases. He does confirm the 4th, and now he confirms the 5th base. He is now aware of the expansions, and now he knows where to apply pressure.
Ah, the deck is free now. All the freedom.
Ah.
There was so much freedom on the deck.
The duck? Oh, right. The duck.
The deck.
Let's
do
go.
you not have Logos mode?
No. Oh, we do deny those slow zones, though. That is another feature here on this map. You
True.
can destroy the debris.
Yeah, you can destroy the slow zones actually, and I mean that's a very interesting feature. I don't think that we've ever had that on maps before, where you could actually remove the zones from the map. So that's a very interesting thing to add there.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's first of its kind here to be able to destroy those slow zones. Meanwhile, we have more and more Liberators building up, 4 more CCs on the way, does scan the army, and this is where we have to be a little bit critical here of the Protoss player, because Horseradish, he does dive in, he's going for the Freedom Zones!
Yeah, he just goes straight for the Liberator. He does not mind the zones. Storms is going down on the army. Ooh, catching the bio too.
Yeah, massive storm on the Bio Army does stand in the Storms. Liberators, they get completely reset. And with that, our Protoss player does tie up the supply, does tie up the army here, and he's warping in more Zealots.
I mean, I would say he did lose a lot in the engagement as well, as he just went forward straight for the Liberators. But, I mean, the Terran has suffered losses as well, and look at these armies now.
Yeah, it's all about who can max out first. Who can max out first, and there are a couple of these Raxes that are not producing, they're not making any units, so some a bit of a rough kind of macro cycle here for our Terran player. Likewise, from our Protoss, I still would say that there it is. Finally, a second robo. We needed a second robo earlier. We have enough of a bank even to start working towards Sky Toss if we so chose to. Again, it's a 1k, 2k bank. A greater tech could have been made use of here, but for now, it's still just a gateway composition.
Yeah, just focusing on those gateways. I mean, the Stargates are coming, don't get me wrong, as we see more of them being put down, but they are not producing anything yet.
Yeah, and we are still lacking a fleet beacon, so no fleet beacon, so there's no working towards carrier production yet. More gateways being thrown down. Now it looks like our Protoss player has recognized that we are lacking production to actually reinforce, and now both players are maxed. Once again, we're maxed out.
Once again, we maxed out. Once again, we have a lot of Liberators on the Terran side of things, a lot of gateway units on the Protoss side, and we'll see how that engagement goes as the Freedom Zones have been set up.
Yeah, Freedom Zones are going to be set up. The expansion is spotted. Battle Pants is trying to make his way towards that expansion of Horseradish. At the same time, Horseradish does push through the center. He's spotted by the center towers.
Yeah, and scanned as well, so Battle Pants knows exactly where the movement is, and this time, Horseradish decides not to engage with these Liberators.
Yeah, not this time. Now, this many Liberators does typically force out Tempest, and there it is. The Fleet Beacon's on the way, and we should be working towards Tempest production from the side of the Protoss. Meanwhile, Battle Pant's going to be building up. Again, he still has a almost 10,000 mineral bank here. I don't know if he's ever going to use it. Even if he dies here, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is a lot of money for the Terran, and I mean, I guess that's why he was expanding so crazily, so he can amass a very solid bank there. And I mean, his expansions are starting to mine out, so he may be trying to expand soon again.
Yeah, and again, typically what a large bank should entail here is that we should be trading. The Terran player should be fighting, should be making use of that bank, because if it just stays as a bank, then what's the value in that, right? What's the value in accruing that much resources, that much minerals, that much gas? Does stim forward, does pick up a couple of Stalkers, not bad.
Yeah, the Bio Army is moving forward, but the High Templars are here, they're looking for a juicy storm, but they have to be careful not to get sniped.
Yeah, at the same time, massive Zealot counterattack. Planetary goes down, no repair. Base is going to be falling.
Yeah, the tanks are still... The army is actually rotating to defend, but it also leaves the tanks vulnerable. Both of them are getting sniped, and now storms on the army as well.
Massive storms. The army supply here is going to be plummeting. Meanwhile, he does try to commit to the fight. No setup on the freedom zones, though. They're stacked.
Yeah, they're stacked, and they're a bit late to the party, as most of the Grand Army is already gone. They're also getting stormed as well.
Yeah, but the Marauders, they stim through. They stim through the Stalkers, they stim through the Colossus. In the end, Battle Pants does take the southern fight, but he will lose 2 bases. He loses the northern base, he loses another expansion. 14 SCVs is going to be going down. The economy in shambles. Battle Pants does have a bank, but he has to remax.
Yeah, he has to spend that bank as soon as possible, but he's losing medivacs as well. Those support units also are very important, and Horse Radish is not stopping the aggression. There are still more Zeros, more Stalkers pushing towards the Terran.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't just keep trading here. Battle Pants having a hard time rebuilding in time. Tempest production has begun for the Protoss. Likewise, he has his own bank to work with, and he's still maintaining that map control, still keeping Battle Pants pinned at home.
Indeed, and look at that. Also, this is even expanding towards the bottom of the map. He's checking the expansions with his Zealots, so it looks like he is planning to keep control over the rest of the map and keep Battle Pants contained on where he is.
And now we have more harassment here. We have Mass DT warping in, head towards the expansions. There is nothing here to defend, so this CC may go down as well. Actually, we're rallied in towards the planetary.
That was a very interesting rally. The DDs looked a bit confused, but it looks like they will try to snipe this planetary, and they should be able to do so.
Yeah, planetary goes down. No scan. No scan. Likewise, repairs were not in time either. The base does fall. The mineral line as well. And Battle Pants, he's falling apart here. Likewise, massive warping into the main base, and everything's on fire here.
Yeah, as Battle Pants is dealing with the DTs at the same time, there's a Zealot drop that is dealing with the tech of Battle Pants. If this goes down, I don't think there's another Ghost Academy at the moment. So yeah, so that will mean no Ghost in production. He killed just 5 right now.
And once again, it's one of those things where our Terran player here, he has a massive bank, that is true, but it's also a limited bank as well, and he's stuck defending back at home. Meanwhile, we do see our Protoss player hyper-aggressive. He knows that the pressure is on the Protoss, is on Horseradish. He just keeps on attacking more and more bases, keeps on crippling the economy, getting more SCVs, and taking these better fights.
Yeah, once Horseradish gets an attack going, he just never stops. There's always more Zealots streaming into the bases. Every time the army of the Terran rotates, there's another run by going across the map, and yeah, just never-ending aggression from the side of the Protoss.
Exactly. Takes down more Deepers, more SCVs. He does hit top right, going for another expansion. Meanwhile, Horseradish has to be careful. He cannot take a head-on fight. Not like this. Yeah,
he overextended a little bit. He overstayed, definitely, and he's losing a lot of those expensive units. I mean, the Stalkers kind of survived, but he lost the Colossus, he lost the Tempest, and that's definitely not the fight he wanted to take.
And I'm waiting for the moment here, because if you look at the army supply here, the suit, once again, is in favor of Battle Pants. He has a massive army. He has only 18 SCVs. He doesn't have any workers, or he barely has any workers, barely has an economy, but now is the time to stim, and to win. But he is heavily overstim. Oh, God.
Yeah, there's Zealots here to defend, and they're surrounding this army. The tank is left forward, and it will be dealt with. The Vikings land to try to deal with these Stalkers, and I mean, they will be able to deal with most of them, but not all.
Yeah, and there's no storm. There's no storm behind this. There are more Zealots warping in. The army is overstimmed. It's very weak. It's very fragile. It's going to be a close fight here. It does kite back, but the Zealots, they will clean up the ghosts.
Yeah, the Chargers are going forward. They're dealing with the rest of the bio. The Medivacs are most of this army now. The Vikings are trying to help, but it looks like it will not be enough, and Protoss is starting to overpower this force.
Yeah, it looks like Horseradish has done it. He has done it. He's just pulling Battle Pants apart, warping into the main base, pushing towards the center as well, cleans up the main army, and now that bank that used to exist, it's not there. The bank is not there anymore. He had 10,000 minerals, now down to less than 1,000, as he just cannot keep up with the multi-frame aggression, and Horseradish has done it, has broken Battle Pants.
Yeah,
the pants are down. They've
been
down for a while, actually.
The pants have torn down, I guess. But yeah, there are more Protoss streaming from across the map. In every base there are Zealots, there is harassment going, the buildings are going down, the tech is going down. I mean, still we have a bit of an army here, and they will take down this Colossus at least, but as this is happening, the base of Battle Pants is going down, meanwhile Protoss is, you know, perfectly secure.
Yeah, exactly. The bases have been left alone. I'll be honest, I don't think Battle Pants has touched any of these bases, any of these economies in quite some time. At the beginning of the game, if you remember, he was denying the 4th base. He denied it twice. That's it. That's all he really did. That's all he was able to accomplish. He was playing very scared. He was playing very safe at home, and Horseradish took advantage of it.
Yeah, Horseradish took advantage. He just built up an army. He just, I mean, because Battle Pants was so defensive, he like Horseradish kept on the aggression. He kept expanding behind it, and he was able to overpower the Terran eventually. And now, I mean, Battle Pants is still trying to defend. He's still trying to muster up some forces, because in the end, those are very close fights. Like, both our players are fighting till the last units, but it does not look great for Battle Pants.
I mean, he has 0 SCVs.
Yeah.
He has literally 0 SCVs. He is muling his heart out right now to try to maintain himself. His army is still threatening. He's going to be pushing. Yeah. He's a very heavy Viking when it comes to his main army. And I mean, they have their uses at least against the Phoenixes. I don't know why they came in, but yeah, they're Phoenixes.
I mean, look.
They
were Phoenixes.
They were.
As
they come in from behind the... Go on.
No, the Vikings are landing trying to defend from this ground army. There are Immortals here in the mix as well. The Zealots finish the rest of the bio. GG is called, and Horseradish will be the champion of Duckling Open number 132.
GG, well played. Congratulations here to Horseradish. Congratulations on the win. Again, game number 3 was the best game for Battle Pants. Battle Pants, he finally got into his opener. He finally got into his third base. He was able to build up. He was able to take better fights, able to be the first to max out as well. But Battle Pants, as we were trying to emphasize in that game, was very passive. He was very passive, whether it was just a little bit of lack of confidence when it comes to playing against his opponent, maybe also the series we mentioned. He was down 2-0, so because of that, maybe he was less willing to be aggressive, less willing to take chances, less willing to be active on the map, and he suffered as a result.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, he was trying to be careful, because we mentioned it before that the first 2 games did not go the way the Battle Pants wanted. Like, there was a lot of harassment on the beginning that kind of messed up the builds in the long term. Like, they messed up the economy, so he wasn't really able to play the game he wanted to play. So I guess in game number 3, he was trying to be, like, very careful, not to, like, overextend or something. But yeah, in the end, it worked against him.
Yeah, exactly. He was just a little bit too safe, a little bit too passive there, and in the end, he was, again, he was torn apart. Shout out to Horseradish for being as tenacious as he was. Horseradish was in a worse position here in game 3. He was behind. He was down in bases, down in economy, down in army, but that didn't stop him from being hyper aggressive and just focusing on harassment, on avoiding these main big fights, going for zealot run-bys, zealot drops, DT counterattacks, and that's what brought him back into that game.
Yeah, even though sometimes, like, the fights were definitely not going his way, he's been losing a lot of units, a lot of expensive units. Like, a lot of times his army was purely gateway army that was, quite squishy in the end, but he was able to just with his tenacity, as you said, he was able to power through.
Oh yeah, he was able to power through. GG, well played. Congratulations to Horseradish, as I believe he has walked that royal road. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is his first time competing in our tournaments, and with that, his first time winning as well.
Yes, indeed. So we can take a quick look at the bracket, and Horseradish made it all the way from the first round. He defeated Matinator, Captain Fish, and Last Ketchup on his way to the finals. And yeah, I believe this is his first showing. Yeah, I don't think I have him saved. So this is not an alias. This is his first showing here, and yeah, he was able to walk the royal road.
Yeah, GG, well played, congratulations. He went to the ace match against Captain Fish earlier in the quarterfinals, and as we were casting, there were some moments where both Last Ketchup and Battle Pants were ahead against him. I'm referring to Last Ketchup when in the game on Sandworm, where he was a little bit greedy and he rushed into Sky Toss, if you recall, then that's when he fell. And here in game 3 in the finals, where Battle Pants was likewise in a better position, but was playing a little bit too scared against Horseradish. And if you give him an opportunity, if you give him a moment, then he will recover. He'll come back.
Oh yeah, and he will never stop the aggression. That's the thing. Like, Horseradish is a very aggressive player, but not in a cheesy way. It's not like, he cheeses. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna go like 4-gate or something. Like, it's not cheesy way. It's just that, like, once he's on the offensive, like, he just does not stop. He just does not go back.
Exactly. It doesn't stop, doesn't go back. GG, well played. Horseradish will claim the win. And with that, Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. And shout out to Kuro as well for holding the fort, for covering the event in its entirety as well. I was on the other side of the event, just adminning and making sure everything was trying to run as smoothly as possible. But yeah, thank you so much, Kuro, for covering today and for casting.
Yeah. Shout out to Light, as Light is the admin of these amateur tournaments. For these amateur events that we host, we switch roles a little bit, where I am the one casting and Light is the one behind the scenes. So yeah, shout out to Light for making all of this organized and working for today.
And my biggest question to you here is about the maps. About the maps that we do have for Team Liquid Map Contest 20. So throughout today's broadcast, did any maps speak to you? Do you have a favorite map so far, at least, after this event?
I also think Kill Switch is very interesting of a map. It was the last map that we had in this series as well, but yeah, I find it somehow interesting. Like, I know that you have some questions about the lack of dead space and the big naturals, but I think the games are kind of interesting on it, just the way it works. But I have to see more like how it plays out, like just more data on what's happening here. But I generally find these games interesting. Sandworm is also very interesting, obviously with the Dragon Thief, and we also got some interesting games on that map too. The rest of the I don't think I've seen enough of them yet. I'm still very triggered by Antimatter's minimap.
Hopefully we get to experience more of these maps in the coming days and in the coming weeks. With my limited experience, just in 2 series, casting only, I agree. I think Sandworm left an impression. I do like Sandworm as a map. I say I like it as a map. I like its potential, and I want to see more. I want to see more engagements around those dragon teeth, around those locations. I think there's a lot of potential for some interesting fights in those areas.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, it's one of those things where like we just have to see more players figure it out, because we are now in the stage where nobody knows how they play. I mean, I say nobody. Some of these maps were available earlier, so some people may know them, but in general, not many people have played on these maps, so everybody is figuring out how they work exactly, and I just want to see like what players can do with the features that are there.
Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, Last Fantasy sounds like it also looks really fun as well. I love the idea of it being a 3-player small map, but the speed zones make it easier to scout, so that takes away some of that issue when it comes to scouting. The air blockers are also really interesting as well, to deny kind of like drop play and that being an issue as well. So it feels like it isn't just a 3-player small map. There's like other kind of features getting involved that also make it more interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll see how it plays out, but I definitely I didn't exactly pay attention to the path of the speed zones, but that is true that they do definitely help with scouting. So it's an interesting idea there to like kind of like, you know, because people don't like that. Oh, I don't know where the opponent is spawning, but like at least that is there to make it easier to get to the other base to see what is happening. And yeah, I also want to see how players use it. Like, will we have like big fights, big engagements in the speed zones?
Yeah, that's the question. That's the question. I mean, we probably will, and when we do, we'll see how crazy they are with how fast units can move through them. So definitely a lot of potential.
Just imagine Clem's Steam Micro in speed zone.
It's gonna be crazy. So with that, GG, well played. Hope you'll enjoyed yourselves. Thanks so much, Kuro, for of course covering the event. If you want to help support the event, !Matcherino in the chat, and you'll get a link to the Matcherino page where you can help fund the tournament. Again, the Matcherino page is specifically for this monthly event for Sea Duckling Open number 132, so you can help us fund it through that Matcherino link. Otherwise, you can also help support us via Patreon.
Yes, Patreon is how we fund the prizes for these tournaments. So all of the support that is on Patreon goes towards these tournaments, and we have had a lot of new patrons in the past few months, so thank you very much, because we are reaching our next goals, and if everything goes according to plan, if there are not too many declines or anything, we are currently already at our $400 per month goal, which means that the prize pool for STC will be boosted. There will be prizes for the semifinals starting in April. Not quite yet, but in April. But something that may be more interesting to the people listening right now, as you see on the screen, on the bottom of the screen, our next goal is $420, and that is for boosting the prize pool of Duckling Open and Masters 1 Open. So those amateur tournaments will also get a little bit of a boost in the prize pool once we reach that goal.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to help support the CranKy Ducklings, if you want to help support events like this, these amateur events, and even our pro events, then Patreon is the place to be. As Kura stated, our next goal is to boost the prize pool of Duckling Open and Masters 1 Open, so you can be a part of that. You can support the Ducklings, you can support the community and the scene as well. So thank you so much to all of our current patrons. Thank you so much to all of our subscribers, to all of our members on YouTube, to all of our supporters. Thank you so much. Even if you're just watching, thank you for watching, and thank you as well to all those that support us monetarily.
Also, I want to give a quick note that it actually doesn't, like, even $1 is already support, you know, because some people I'm sure are thinking like, oh, I don't, you know, $10, like that's a lot of money. Like even $5 may not quite be enough for my budget, but we have some $1 supporters as well. We have some $1 patrons, and that also counts. That also helps the prize pool. So you know, if that is something that you can do, then make sure to consider it.
Yeah. So thank you so much to all of you that do support us, and with that, we're going to be wrapping up here for the day. When it comes to our weekly schedule, our next broadcast is going to be in less than 24 hours. We're going to be live with the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 83. That is our weekly pro event, open to pro players, where we get regulars like Skillus, like Björn, like Ryung, Christiana, Geralt, Wayne, Shameless, Yang Yakov, and many, many others. So do check out our tournament tomorrow. Otherwise...
However, I want to say...
And also, it is also going to be a TLMC event.
Yes, it also will feature a TLMC map pool. However, it will be a different map pool than this one, as we are kind of mixing and matching. Because again, there are 16 finalists, and we pick 8 for every tournament, and it's different 8 for every tournament, so we can see a bit of different maps for each event, test them all out. But I also want to point attention to the fact that Sparkling Tuna Cup is open to everyone. It features a lot of the pro players, but the amateurs can play in it as well. So if that is something you're interested in, if you're not afraid to face a Björn in the first round, or somebody, you know, maybe your skill level, depends how the bracket goes, then make sure to sign up.
There you go. You can sign up for that tournament tomorrow as well. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Kura, where can people find more of you? Where can people find some more clam action?
Ah, some clam. Not to be confused with clam.
Yes.
So if you want to follow more of my stuff, then make sure to firstly join the Discord, because I'm mostly on the Discord working behind the scenes on CranKy Ducklings. But for my own personal channels, it's at 16 Squad Sanseki, both on Twitch and on YouTube, as I am dual streaming now. I don't stream very often, but at the very least we do have weekly Final Fantasy streams together with Light VIP, that you see right now. But yeah, other than that, I will try to stream some more, but we will see how it goes, as I am a little bit busy. Otherwise, you can find me on social media, on Twitter/X, on Mastodon, on Blue Sky, 16 Squad Sanseki, everywhere except for X, because not enough characters, so 16 Squad S. What about you, Light?
You can follow me at light_VIP. I stream whenever I can throughout the week. I've been streaming a little bit more regularly as of late, and I might even be able to stream tomorrow as well before Sparkling Tuna Cup. But otherwise, you can follow me here on the CranKy Ducklings. CranKy Ducklings, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings. Exclamation mark socials in the chat. And we are live on a daily basis here with plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft, plenty of content to spread around. So do check it out. Check out our YouTube, check out our TikTok, check out our Kick. We're on all things on all platforms. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next month for the next Duckling Open, or tomorrow, or whenever you happen to tune in for some more StarCraft.
Also, next amateur tournament in 2 weeks, Masters 1 Open.
There you go. Thanks for watching. Until then, ciao.
Bye.
we